Welcome to Through the Wire.
Through the wire. We back. Obviously, we have no KB.
Man down, but the show still goes on.
For all the people that think he's finna run over there, he's not.
Yeah, there's no KB. There's no Anwar. We got our man's Austin in the head seat today,
He in the pilot seat.
Yeah, in the pilot seat today. And no KB. KB said he wasn't feeling well. Anwar is walking around claiming or making phone calls claiming that Mike got him sick. Luckily for me, I didn't have to hear that phone call.
Shit. I ducked that sickness, not the phone call.
Mike ain't get nobody sick. Mike was barely sick himself. He just, it was like precautionary. Let me not come to the podcast. But it wasn't like Mike was in bed with a thermometer throwing up.
Nothing like that. And I'm telling you, it was literally minimum contact. He acted like I was hugging up on the man or something.
like y'all was kissing and shit.
Yeah.
They probably snuck something in now.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, come on. How y'all feeling though?
I'm feeling good,
great.
man. I got this new mellow tee. Just had to rock it.
Oh, yeah, you did. I did peep that when you walk in, man.
Yeah.
So, where you get that from?
Play Night Studio.
Okay.
Yeah, they always dropping some nice shit.
They must have sent that fast. He just retired.
No, I actually ordered this like a month ago, and it came yesterday.
Well, we gonna need y'all to speed up them deliveries. Great time, and they must have knew something that we ain't know, or they must have got really, really lucky coincidentally.
Yeah, that's true. Probably very coincidental.
Mike, what's up with you? I was telling you this before we got on here. I just feel like I know you was here Thursday for the IT interview.
Yeah, but it was
Tuesday
like,
you was not here?
I wasn't here Tuesday.
And yeah, I just feel like when I've been in the Discord, besides yesterday.
I haven't really been on the game. These past couple of days. I've been a little preoccupied.
You know your time is gonna be off on MLB again.
I got on there yesterday because I got on after not playing after 2 days, and I got on a little tipsy too. People immediately talking about play me. I'm like, bro, y'all.
Oh, you stream?
Yeah.
It's crazy how that's one game you can. If you take a break from MLB, your timing is fucked. Batting is gonna be so hard.
That's why it's one of the best games. It's hard for me to be into baseball when the White Sox suck. Luckily, the White Sox been getting their shit together, so maybe I can get my juices back flowing.
And we got to get back to some more games since the weather gets nice.
For sure.
Weather has been really nice.
But that's why MLB has always been one of my all-time favorite games because it's a little bit more realistic with the time. I mean, you got to have your timing in 2K for sure with the shooting and everything, but baseball in real life is all about time, and so it's kind of makes it a little bit more real. But everybody that's tuned in, make sure you give us the like. If you're new, subscribe. For audio listeners, go give us 5 stars so we can get up on them charts. Y'all know we trying to be the #1 podcast in America when it comes to this basketball shit.
What's good, everybody? We are back through the wire in action, but we got our 5th member today. It's Isaiah Thomas Ati. Welcome to the show, bro.
Man, appreciate y'all for having me, man. I'm glad to be on the show today.
Before we get started, this right here, this type of shit is special. I just want you to know that you're somebody we wanted on the show. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
We get names that the company can bring. What y'all feel about this guy? You're a guy that we're here because we want to be here. It ain't like how would y'all feel about Isaiah Thomas? Sometimes that should happen. I just want you to know we big fans.
Yep.
Definitely.
And to a lot of people like us, you still relevant and still important to us. You know what I mean? You, Isaiah Thomas, is somebody that's special to the game, and it's guys like you who deserve y'all flowers times 10 because, people think about Hall of Fame and, 7-time MVPs and shit like that. So I just want to give you a flower. I'm still a little emotionally shaken up off of Melo retiring. So now that you here a couple of days, I just got to make sure you know the love is there and how important you are to the basketball culture. You know what I mean? That's 4 Chicago guys who, are just been embedded in the basketball culture for a long time.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. That goes a long way, for real. It means a lot, so I appreciate that.
We saw that tweet from you. We had to jump on that immediately. Me and KB.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You already know.
Because we did
I'm glad to be a part of it.
We did the Bleacher Report stream. Was that last year or something? We did that 4th quarter stream together. And I was like, man, that was a blast, bro. So we want to have you back.
I appreciate it, fam. It's all love.
Yep.
The first thing I want to dive into, I'm like I said, I eat, sleep, drink this shit. I haven't been, blessed enough to have your type of capabilities to play in the NBA, but basketball is still my life. So I've been watching you for a very long time. And something that I've always wanted to know, and I said I was going to ask the first person I could who went to Washington, how did Coach Romar get all of y'all? You, Brandon Roy, Will Conroy, Markel Fultz, they almost got MPJ, DeJounte, Marquise Chris. We can go Spencer
It's a long
Hall.
list. Yeah, it's a long list.
I want to know, what is he saying to y'all to get y'all to go to Washington?
I'm gonna break it down right now. He's definitely not throwing no bag at it. So this is all. So it's all like genuine love. Like with me, for instance, he didn't guarantee me nothing. He didn't promise me anything. He just felt like I got my father in my life, but he was an extra father figure. Like I'm gonna tell y'all my experience with him. Like he from going on campus at 18 to leaving at 21. Like I was a young kid going on campus, and when I left, I was a young man that took care of my responsibilities. And I think if you ask any of them guys you named, they'll probably say the same thing. Like it was bigger than basketball when Romar sat down and offered you a scholarship and wanted you to come to Washington. It was like it's hard to even explain, but I don't know how he got all of it. To keep it honest, he wasn't throwing no money at nobody. He wasn't doing nothing illegal. From top to bottom, he didn't cheat the game. And, you know, obviously now the kids are getting paid now, as they should. And even back when I was in college, if you was one of the top dogs, you probably getting a little bag to come to the school. He wasn't doing none of that. And he was just honest with you. He was 100% real with you. He's somebody that I talk to monthly still, and somebody I think everybody that you name has a really close relationship with him outside of basketball. Like the basketball is there, and you could talk to Romar about basketball all day long. But outside of basketball, he's something that a lot of coaches aren't. And that's a father figure to especially inner city kids that most of the time need that. And he's someone that just didn't teach the game of basketball, but taught you about taking care of your responsibilities in life. So I owe a lot to Coach Romar, and I'm sure everybody that you named and more owe a lot to him because he's that special in all of our lives.
Yeah, I had to get that out the way because I think when you talk about college basketball, especially in the Pac-12, which is the Pac-10 now, our young fan base got on my ass because I called it the Pac-12 one time. So let me be clear. I get it's the Pac-10, but it once was the Pac-12. He got a very underrated resume as far as the talent that came through Washington, in my opinion. So I had to ask that question.
Oh yeah, he got draft picks. And they're not always highly talented too. So that says a lot about him too. They're not always coming in and being one and done. A lot of those guys you named, they did 2-3 years in college, other than Markel Fultz, who's like, and you could brag about that. We got the number one pick. We got one of the number one picks.
Pick, yeah.
He creates pros somehow, some way. Shout out to Coach Romar.
For sure. I'm gonna let the NBA talk go now. Well, like, come on, man, with this college shit.
Now, we on the topic of college. I had a question. I want to know, since you were the last pick of the draft in your draft class, and I'm curious, what were you doing on draft night when you were selected?
So what I was doing, when the draft started, it's crazy. I went to the University of Washington with my teammates, with the guys that were on my team. And we were just shooting hoops. We were just shooting, kicking it. I was trying to get my mind off the draft. Like I honestly didn't think I was gonna be the last fucking pick. Like I didn't think that at all. So I wasn't going into the day like we're gonna wait the whole draft. I was projected to be, I had a team at the end of the first round that said they might pick me. But I was projected to be start of the second round, maybe middle of the second round at the latest. So that was arguably the longest day of my life. Like I was at the gym for a couple hours for the first round. When it got to like the 40th pick, I went to the crib. My family was throwing a little get together, a little celebration because we was believing we would get drafted higher than the 60th pick. So my family and friends were at the house, chopping it up, eating, kicking it, having a good time watching the draft. So long story short, it's past the 40th pick. I'm like, I tell my guys, I'm about to head to the crib. You feel me? Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm hitting my agent. Like, I'm asking him. I'm about to fire him on the spot because we wasn't even supposed to be this late. So that happens. I'm headed to the house. I remember my mom calls me right when I get to the apartment. And she's like, "Are you okay?" And it was around the 56th pick at that point, I'm like, damn, I might not even get drafted. I'm not even thinking about the Sacramento Kings. That was my first official draft workout. Like I was already like, the Lakers have 4 picks. Once they went, I think their last pick was like 54 or 55, and they told me they would draft me if I was still there. So once they didn't draft me, I was like, dang, it might be over. You know, I was thinking about my other options, like what I was gonna do. My mom calls me and she asks, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just, surprised." She's like, she read a Bible verse to me. She said, "Well, the first shall be last and the last shall be first." This was around the 58th pick. I get off the phone with her. My agent calls me like, "Sacramento's going to pick you with the last pick." And it was like I didn't care where I got drafted. Obviously, I was upset a little bit, and it was like taking so long to get drafted. But once I got drafted, it was like I was the number 1 pick. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And it was like so much adrenaline. I walked right into the little party that we were having. My family and friends was clapping it up, was cheering. Like it was like the perfect ending to like a weird middle part of the day, because I was just on wait. I'm calling my agent. I'm calling everybody's hitting me like, when you gonna get drafted? And it just happened. It happened that quick, and it was like it was a blessing in disguise for me, because I really got a chance that usually 60 picks would get invited to training camp, making the team, and then it was all she wrote after that.
So you ended up in Sacramento. Now things have changed with Sacramento, right? Making the first playoff appearance in 16 years or whatever. But you were kind of there, and I say it so you don't have to, and like the turmoil age where it felt like they were using high draft picks and not getting people that will return to the roster after a couple seasons. So I want to ask you about your experience with the Sacramento Kings specifically.
My experience was good. Like they gave me an opportunity when nobody would. Obviously, it was like rebuilding stages. We were lottery teams every year. I was there for 3 years. It was a lot going on. And then one of the years, like we were about to move to Seattle. Like it was crazy stuff going on. Like the team got sold. They had meetings with us telling us it was over. We moving to Seattle. Obviously, like I would love for the team to stay in Sac. But deep down, I was kind of hyped too. Like it's going back to the crib. Right. Like I'm gonna be playing like D Rose does in Chicago. Like I was thinking all that. Like you feel me? But Sacramento, one thing about Sacramento, they gave me my first chance. I love the city. I love the fans. The community embraced me with open arms. It was a tough situation to get drafted to, because we was in a losing situation. But at that point, like this was the only team that gave me my chance, and they let me rock out once they called my name. So it was like I got nothing but love for Sac. I'm happy. I'm happy as hell for them to be able to make the playoffs. That community deserves it. The city deserves it, and it seems like the organization is going in the right direction. But I wish we can go back in time and play those years over, because we had a talented young squad. We just couldn't put it together. Like we had my third year, we were one of the only teams that had 3 20-point scorers in DeMarcus Cousins, Rudy Gay, and myself. We had the talent. We just was a young team that didn't know how to win. That was the only thing with us that didn't carry over. But we had the talent. And like I said, shout out to Sacramento. Everybody passed on me but them, and they gave me my first chance. So I'm forever indebted in with the Sacramento Kings for sure.
Yeah, that was honestly one of my favorite teams, kind of like back then to watch, especially with you and Boogie, and Rudy's just one of my favorite players. I love just like bag type players. But I'm gonna kind of backtrack a little bit when you were talking about just kind of like the coaching aspect. Obviously, it's really big to just have that respect and just like that want to play for the players, or to play for that coach. Do you think it's valid we see all like the coaches getting fired, and how often and how short of a leash they have?
It's tough. Like the game is tough. The business side of the game is tough. The only thing I would say with the firing of the coaches, it's surprising, especially coaches that made the finals, won the championship 2-3 years ago. Like you've never really seen that turnover, especially when you win a championship. Usually you got probably like 5 years to be bad if you win a championship. But now it's like, I think the culture of the game is just so on to the next. Like if you ain't hot right now, we got to find somebody that's hot. Whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, whether you're a trainer on the team, it's always on to the next. And I think I don't agree with it, but if you're gonna do on to the next, and you're gonna like bring some new coaches in, like don't recycle the coaches. Yep, like you get what I'm saying? Like give younger coaches the opportunity to be on good teams. Because it seems like when you do give new coaches an opportunity, you always throw them to the bad teams. Mm-hmm. So they got like 2 or 3 years to be bad, and then they're fired, and they might not get a head coaching job again. I just hope, with how the game is now, I hope that new coaches get the opportunities with the good teams, which is going to be tough because teams don't want to wait on a new coach. But at the same time, like, you need new faces in there. You need younger guys in there, especially with the league going younger. Like, these young guys only respect guys that they can relate to, which is not always right, but they're only going to really listen to whether it's coaches or players that they can relate to, that they've seen do it before, or this, damn near close to their age. Because if you can't relate to a young guy, they're not hearing you at all. They're not even listening.
Right. Yeah, it does. I feel like everything's so much on to the next now, and I feel like that's kind of a problem, especially with these younger guys, because the pressure is on them immediately to perform well and to be contributing to winning basketball.
Yeah, I mean, the on to the next culture goes to the coaches and the players, where we have basically the NBA's at the youngest it's ever been. We have players like you. I mean, Melo wanted to keep playing and had to opt out for a year.
His former teammate, who I love, DeMarcus Cousins.
Dwight Howard is in Taiwan, like veteran guys that could come in and help an organization. But like you mentioned, it's like we want the next big thing, and sometimes for them, it's invested in a 19-year-old that maybe has potential to be great one day. Sometimes you need those vets in there. You need those.
And you know what's crazy about that? Like, yeah, you need the vets because the vets control the locker room. The vets are going to show a young dude how to be professional, how it's done. But also, like how is a young guy teaching another young guy how to be a professional?
right. Yeah.
So, like, you got guys, you keep drafting these young guys, which is fine. Like, I'm all for the young dudes. But then their veteran that they look up to is 22 years old.
Yeah.
They hasn't really won anything. They hasn't really been in no real situations. So it doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not saying the NBA got to be old, but you should have 2 or 3 older guys at the end of the bench. Mm-hmm. They could still play if given the opportunity, but they're there to really help these young guys, because you wouldn't see these crazy incidents that are happening with these guys if there's an older guy in the locker room like, fam, come on, we got to be better. We can't do those things. And it's hard to watch because I know there's not just myself, but I know there's guys that 10, 12-year vets in the league that can really help, and it's frustrating because it's out of our control.
Yeah, right.
It's just where the NBA is going, and, you got to somewhat live with it.
When you look at those last 3 teams that's still hooping today, all of those got those vets. Udonis has them, don't play tick, but we know he's a dude that matters to the organization. Even DeAndre Jordan, who don't play, but you could tell when they were raising that trophy that there's a bond there. Jeff Green, even Blake Griffin right now with the Boston Celtics. So, like, the teams that understand it, and you see the success there, but some of these younger teams would rather throw the dart at the board 100 times to get the one guy.
But that's why you see also there's only, if you really look at it, there's probably 6 teams that are really trying to win the championship every year.
Right. Yes.
Other than that, everybody starts off saying the right stuff, but they come December, they in rebuild mode now. Right. They in rebuild, like we got to go for the draft pick. So if you really look at it, everybody that's competing for a championship has what we talked about. They have young guys, they have older guys, they have guys that maybe don't play, but has had a great career and help in other ways than putting the ball in the basket and being on the floor. So it's like, what are we really trying to do? Are we trying to develop? What'd you say?
I think that's why we need the NBA, the National Basketball Association. They need to empower basketball people, because if Isaiah Thomas can be a former player, but then maybe work in a film room or be an assistant, then maybe a coach or maybe a GM, you understand the ins and outs. Because when we look at the league, a lot of shit that you look at, it don't make sense. And it shows you why certain teams stay at the bottom. And I don't want to put nothing attached to you, but it's why we would see the Rockets continue to be the Rockets. Versus you say it's 6 teams. I think we see the same teams. The Celtics have been in it. Even when you was there, y'all was the number 1 seed. They done changed tides. They got the same system. Miami is always in the conversation with LeBron, Dwayne Wade and Shaq, now Jimmy Butler. The Golden State Warriors, you got Iggy, who don't even play, but he's still on the roster for that presence. it's the same teams, and you have the same teams kind of at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
or who don't win shit. And I think we see why, and it blows my mind because everything else in the league is copycat except that.
But you also got to put in there as a business. So there's different people. They have different, decisions that they make. Like, if we ain't competing for no championship, are we really making money? Let's try to get that highest draft pick.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a weird position to be in. But if you've been around the league, you see it, and you just, it doesn't make sense. They couldn't even make it make sense if they wanted to. Not to point fingers at anybody, but if you're gonna go young and be young, you just got to have some guys in there that can help these young guys, and that goes back to me saying, get some guys in there that they can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
No young 19-year-old that's a millionaire is gonna come in and listen to a 60-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is in today's society, not just in basketball.
Yeah,
They're gonna look at you like, damn, did you even do it?
Yeah, it
You
seems
feel
like
me?
we talk
And
about,
that's no disrespect to anybody, because there's some great GMs, there's some great coaches, there's some great guys that never played the game, they know so much about the game. But if we're gonna go so young, you gotta adjust and adjust to these young guys and adapt to how they learn and how they think. Because if not, then we're just gonna see the same scenarios play out time in and time out.
You had talked about it being a business. And I'm going to ask you just from and I know we just met like 30 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago, but as just like a younger homie who trying to get some game, how do you, because we all say it, man, it's just business, it's not personal, whatever, but how do you gauge that? Because that, to me, that's kind of like the political thing to say. And I know you've been through your trial and error throughout the NBA, even from the start of you not even thinking you would go that far in the draft. But we got contracts. We on a contract year coming up for us at the end of this year. How do you separate the two, or how do you really handle, taking things as it's just business and personal? And I mean the real IT, not the one that's at the podium after the game trying to say the right things. But
yeah, no doubt. For me, it's tough because, like you said, throwing out is just business. That is political. Because at the end of the day, that should be personal at times too. Like if I put my heart and soul into this, that's personal. That's just not business. Like when the transaction's made, yeah, we say, oh, okay, that's business. You got traded, figure it out. Or you didn't sign with this team, figure it out. But a lot of these times, especially with guys that got a lot of years in the league, like it's not always business. It can't be, because I'm with you each and every day. I'm building relationship with you, friendship. I'm building a lot with you for it to be just business and to get traded or to get whatever the case may be, and it just be like two fingers. All right, I'll see you later.
Right.
It can't be that, because I'm putting my blood, sweat, and tears in it. So it can't be just business when the transaction's made. But at the end of the day, I guess that's just what it is. And you got to take it for what it is. Like when I first got traded. So when I got traded to Boston from Phoenix, it was tough for me because it's like I just signed with Phoenix 6 months ago. You feel me? I signed a 4-year deal with Phoenix, and that caught me off guard. So yeah, everybody's telling me it's just business. It's a better opportunity for you. Okay, again, down the line, 3 years later, I get traded to Cleveland. Like, that's not business at that point.
Yeah.
I laid my career on the line for a lot of people. You feel me? Like, and this is just being 100% real. And this is not no negativity on nobody. I laid my career on the line for a lot of people and then get traded, and then we say it's just business. Was it just business when whoever made the decision to tell me that I can play on my hip? You feel me?
Yeah.
Was that just business, or was that like? So it's hard to speak on because it's just a fine line between it. I get it's a business, but at times it is personal too.
That's real for
To
sure.
give you not the political answer in the best way I can.
No.
I'm an emotional dude, so I try to ask somebody who got experience especially at a higher level. You know what I mean? You put your career and emotions on the line. In a lot of different situations in your career. So
and one other thing, I think, especially with the game and the business side of it, I think there's a way to go about it. Like, especially if, like, just communicate. I think that's half the battle. If you communicate and straight up with anybody that you're dealing with in this business, then that I think makes it a lot easier. If there's no communication and you get hit surprisingly with getting traded or whatever the case may be, that's when it hurts. And it seems like, okay, that can't be business. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to war with you every day and we have a dialogue of a communication and we have a relationship and friendship, the least you can do is just chop game with me and tell me what you're thinking is about to happen. And then I'm going to take it however I take it. But at least you sat down and you kept it 100% real with me. And that's all I can ask. And the business side ain't always like that. So that's why it's tough, and guys do take it personal at times.
Yeah, it seems like when a lot of guys are traded, they seem like they never know what happened. Like a lot of people be saying they found out on Twitter. Like,
oh, for sure. Yeah. It'd be like that. Like I remember I got traded another time in DC. I just got done with practice. So I'm headed to the crib. Wow. I get to the crib, my agent like, oh, they might trade. I'm like, nigga, Mike? I was just practicing hella hard today. You know what I mean? I was just going hard. Like you could have told me at the gym. You could have definitely brought me aside and told me at the gym. Yes. You feel me? Just because I just feel like it should be that way. Like guys shouldn't be caught off guard. We put too much, sweat, hard work into this. Like blood, sweat, and tears into this. Like you shouldn't be caught off guard. But guys are caught off guard on the daily.
We're one off while you said Washington. That just reminded me of the time that you got ejected like a minute into the game. Oh. I still don't understand what happened in that situation.
He wanted a frosty.
No, not that one.
That wasn't even the frosty.
That was in Atlanta.
That's what's crazy. Yeah. It's like, that was the unfortunate situation because the ref thought I pushed him. But like I explained to the NBA and him, I'm like, fam, I just hit my first 2 shots. Why would I want to get ejected? Right. Like, and it was a funny matter at the time, but it was like I was dead serious. Like that was probably gonna be a good game for me. Like I've never been that guy. So like that was a weird situation for me. Like that was even Damian Lillard, he was right next to me because we got tangled up. He was over there. I remember the next day when you get ejected or suspended, the NBA calls you. You got to talk. They do an investigation and stuff. You got to talk to them. You got to talk to the NBPA. I remember Lillard was on the phone like, fam, there's no way he pushed this guy like that. Like, there's no way he meant to push the ref. So, like, shout out to Damian Lillard. He had helped me not get suspended that time. So that was, even though I got ejected 80 seconds into the game, he had helped me not lose any more money than that.
So what did that fan say to you that wanted a frosty, though? That made you actually go into the stands? Like you just said, you're not even that guy. Yeah.
Look, the fan said, and excuse my language, he said, he gave me 2 middle fingers, right? He looked me straight in the eye and gave me 2 middle fingers. And he said, F you, B word. So, and he said it 3 times to me with his middle fingers up. And I happened to catch him when I'm running back. So this is what my thought process was. I was like, whenever the game stops, like whenever stoppage, I'm gonna just go talk to him and say, fam, don't ever do that again to me. Don't, like, I'm a man before anything. So I did that, like, right when I'm running down, they called timeout. So it was perfect. I'm like, I wasn't thinking I'm getting suspended. I'm not thinking I'm gonna get ejected because he's like in the 3rd row. I'm like, I'm gonna just go right behind the hoop, be super calm, and tell this man, like, don't ever do that again, fam. Like, we don't play with that word. We don't do none of that. Like that's just one word in my household and how I was raised. No matter what it is, those are fighting words. Right, saying I was going in there to fight. I just had to tell that man. And he really responded which made me laugh because it was like, damn. This dude said, he said, bro, I'm so sorry. I just wanted a frosty. I'm like, oh my God. That's when I went back to the end of the bench and just sat down. Then they told me I was ejected for going in the stands. I'm like, damn, I'm tripping. But it was the principle of it. Like I had to go talk to that dude and just be like, fam, we don't do that. Don't do that again. And he really responded with that. And I had to smile about it. Right. No, it was funny.
Fans be in the arena feeling so entitled. Like they feel like they can do anything.
And when they get a little alcohol in them, it just takes them up a notch.
For sure.
Yeah, that's why I don't be minding when we see some of the players now. They be pointing out fans and they be getting ejected. Because sometimes
Russell could get you
Oh
ejected real quick.
Now it's like I'm trying to get you kicked out. Don't say nothing bad to me. I'm all right. He was right there. He said something. He's out of here.
right. I'm
gonna be that guy now. If when I get back, I'm gonna be that guy. Say okay. Can you get him out, please?
Yeah, don't even care if they sitting courtside. They spend $5 on that ticket. You just wasted that.
Oh yeah. If we interact on eyesight, oh yeah, he said something.
I'd see another reason I connect with you in a way is because I know you've been on the marathon for a minute. Rest in peace to one of my guys, one of my favorites, Nipsey. And I could tell from, like I said, I seen your YouTube and the book of Isaiah and things like that, and I see that you know a real Nipsey fan when you hear the songs.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know him.
Yeah. What's your favorite Nipsey song and project?
So my favorite Nipsey song, so Keys to the City is on the Marathon mixtape.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorites, one of my go-tos. And also on his latest project, The Victory Lap, is Blue Laces 2.
Blue Laces 2.
So those is two of my go-tos when I really need to lock in or I'm headed to the gym. I'll throw that on and I think those two songs, especially the Marathon mixtape, I was in college when that came out. So like that whole mixtape takes me back to college and being on the grind of trying to make to the NBA. And then the Victory Lap, that album kind of like it's everything. It's like I've been a Nipsey fan since 2008. So to see that album is like what every fan that's been a Nipsey fan has been waiting on. And I wish, rest in peace, my dog, my bro Nipsey. I just wish he was here so we can hear what the music would be like now. Like even when I go through some shit, I just be like, man, I wish Nip was here because I know he would have some shit for exactly what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And not just me, but the world, because it seemed like his music was always on time for what marathon I was on, what slow grind that I was on. So, shout out to the marathon, shout out to Nipsey Hussle, the whole Crenshaw crew, All Money In. Those are my guys.
For sure.
So I had a question for you. I know you mentioned being traded to Cleveland, so you play with LeBron a little bit. I wanted to know, what is it like being with such an intense guy like LeBron as a teammate?
It's the dopest thing ever. Like I played with him on the Lakers and the Cavs. It's like you see why he's the best, one of the best to ever play, arguably the best to ever play. His preparation to the game, his professionalism, his leadership, and how to bring a team together. Like I've never seen nothing like it. Like when we was on the Cavs, every road trip we going to dinner. The whole team though. Going to dinner, as you guys know, everybody got their handshake with him. Like everybody got different handshakes. It's like he really brings guys together. And if you think about how big of a star he is, being on his team, you would never even notice. Like he acts like just the regular guy. He treats everybody like the regular guy. Like it's something special. And then his aura around the game is just like, I always compare it to is like how Michael Jackson was when he's about to go perform. Like, you guys, you will see grown women, grown men crying when they see Michael Jackson. Like I've never seen when LeBron walks into a restaurant or LeBron walks in even to an arena getting off the bus. Like you see his stardom. Like it's second to none. Like I bet Michael Jordan was like that at his time too.
Right. Mm-hmm. I want to ask you about Jokic because you did play in Denver for a little bit. He's like the most unknown person to us, like media people. What is Jokic like IRL?
Just like you said, he ain't saying too much. It's funny. I always tell this story. Like one time we was in the locker room. Well, a few times at halftime, we probably beating a team. We had a good year that year. He's always like, now I can't say for now, but when I played with him, a few times I would look over there because we was right next to each other at the locker. He'll be on his phone playing a little weird little game, like a little kid game on his phone. I always say, Joker, he likes basketball. He doesn't love it. He just happened to be good at it. Like, dang, I gotta go for a 40-point triple-double tonight. Like it just seems like that. Not saying he doesn't love the game, but I've never seen a superstar, an MVP, nobody like him. Like he just plays basketball on the side and happen to be really good at it. Like he's really clocking into work, getting his job done, and going home and doing whatever the hell he's about to do. And then the next day, he's giving you 30, 15, and 15, not saying nothing, not talking shit, going back to the locker room, playing his little game, going to the crib. Like, it's crazy because you never see a superstar as humble as him, as out of the way as him. And, I mean, it's amazing to see. Like it's amazing to see. He's like, I text him after the last game, right? I'm like, go get the championship, go win it. He said, we have a great opportunity. Like, that was it. That was the text. We have a great opportunity. Like, nobody else is saying that. Like, nobody else, especially a star, two-time MVP like that. Nobody's saying that back. So professional, so straight to the point. Like, he's one of the good guys for sure.
And it's funny that he kept it professional with you as like a former teammate who was in a locker room.
But look,
like you were
he's doing that with everybody. He's doing it with everybody. That's the text. That's the exact text I thought he was saying.
Does he talk? Does he talk that way too, like in person?
Just like you. Just like you. He ain't saying too many words. That's why it's funny. Like he's just really going about his business, getting it done, and going home.
Yeah. Wow.
One of the last things I want to ask before we let you get up out of here. We know you're a busy man. Three beautiful kids running around. You got to get to. And I don't want this to come off the wrong way. You're going to understand my question when it first come out. It's going to sound crazy.
For sure.
Anytime somebody start off.
It's all good.
I want to be looking like, what the hell? But where would you say, when we just talked about your career and very quickly, because there's so much that we could continue to talk about, where do you think you get your what's the word I want? Your delusion or audacity from? And the reason I use that word is because throughout your upbringing, a lot of people they counted you out. 5'9", and you probably weren't supposed to be a starter in high school. I read that you averaged 30 in high school.
Damn.
You started for Coach Romar in Washington as a true freshman, rookie of the year in a Pac-12, all freshman team. The big shot you hit against Arizona, I believe, in the Pac-12 tournament. Probably wasn't supposed to do all of that. Then make it to the NBA. Just making it, probably you weren't supposed to do, but then let alone be a starter. Then you got traded. That was probably supposed to be it. Or you signed with the Suns, and then they traded you in 6 months. Now, that was supposed to be it. And then you go to the Celtics, a historic franchise, and is the heart and soul, #1 seed in a conference with LeBron James, Kyrie Irving.
MVP candidate.
I saw the video where you met Iverson and you went back to the hotel after he signed the jersey. You said 22-6. That's not a good year. I gotta get like 28, and you fucking did it. You averaged 29. Like I rewatched that today, and it's like, how do you reinvent these audacity? Like it's kind of like, yeah, for a regular person, it's like, damn, the audacity to think that you can do it, and not only think, but you did do it. How do you continue to reinvent that at every fucking step of your life to get to the point where we hear in awe to have you on our show?
Man, honestly, it comes down to I really have so much confidence in myself and believe in myself way past anybody ever could imagine. Like, I believe in myself more than my parents did. I believe in myself more than anybody ever did, but I also put the work in. So as a young age, the stuff that just happened to me, I had dreams about it happening. Like, I already seen it. So whether you talk about high school averaging 30, college, being Pac-10 MVP, all of the accolades that I had throughout my career, I promise you, like, and this is just me being 100% real, I spoke all that shit to in existence. Every single thing that I've done in my high school career, college career, NBA career. Like 2017, when I was third or fourth in MVP voting, in every arena, I went to the free throw line, they're yelling MVP. I remember back in 2001, when Iverson won MVP. I'm like, I'm gonna do that shit. Like, I'm gonna somehow, some way, the arenas are gonna yell MVP when I'm at the free throw line. So when that happened, I'm really laughing in my head, like I'm smiling. There's hella clips where I'm just smiling because I'm like, I've seen this shit before. I told myself this was gonna happen, and it happened. And I know when I tell people this, it'd be like, okay, yeah, you can say that. But the first thing I always tell kids, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will.
Mm-hmm.
So when, like you said, all those stages in my career, when I got to high school and I was serving dudes in high school, they like, okay, he's not going to do that in college. Guys are a little bigger, stronger, faster. Got to college, did the same shit, and I was winning. Got to the pros, and they was like, okay, he's small. He can do this. He can be a spark plug off the bench. My mind was like, I'm one of the coldest dudes that ever played a game, and I know that for a fact because nobody 5'9" is doing the shit that I'm doing. And this is talking with being one of the most humble guys ever. I just know I'm that dude when it comes to this game, and I've always been. Whether you believe in me, whether my mom, my dad believe in me, it didn't matter because the work I put in each and every day when nobody was in the gym built the confidence in me for life. So when it comes to the game of basketball, I don't see nobody better. And that's all due respect to everybody because I know if guys were 5'9", they wouldn't be as good. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
And if I was 6'8", I would be even better. You get what I'm saying? So like that's me just believing in myself, not giving a fuck what anybody says, and just grinding. Like, that's all I know. So at every level, every step of the way, like you said, there was somebody saying, he can't do this. Then when I averaged 20 and sat, he can't be a full-time starter on a winning team. Then when I went to go be the franchise in Boston, they said, he can't win a championship being 5'9". Like, we probably would have beat Cleveland if I didn't get hurt. To keep it a buck.
Facts.
And we played Golden State the best out of anybody that year. Like, so all these things that happened throughout my career, to say this in the most humble way, I worked for that shit. And when my opportunity was there and when they called my name, I took that shit and I ran with it and I didn't look back. So that's how major this shit was. That's why the love I get from y'all, from anybody at the crib, from anybody who's watching, because they seen it. Because they seen people doubt me time in and time out. And I just rose to the occasion with the help of my teammates, obviously, and the opportunity that was given to me. Every time somebody gave me an opportunity, I served that shit. Every time. And I tell guys that are 5'9" and are little, if you don't serve that shit, you're going to be lost in the sauce and they're going to forget about you. Because when you're 5'9" and you're small, you got to be special. You can't just fit in. You got to stand out. And every time I stepped on the court, whether it be at LA Fitness, the YMCA, Madison Square Garden, United Center, I'm like, there's somebody in that crowd that never seen me play and don't even know who I am. But when they leave this shit, they going to be like, I don't know who that was, but that little dude, he was the best player on the floor.
Yeah.
That's my mindset to this day. You feel me? So that's what got me to where I am today. That's what's going to keep me going. That's what's going to get me back in the league. I speak everything into existence, and it always happens. I remember Nipsey saying, shit just happens the way I always envisioned. That's just been my life. And that's my life to this day. I'm going to stay on the slow grind, stay on the marathon. I'm going to keep a smile on my face and keep mashing because it don't stop.
You got me ready to hoop. I'm ready to set a screen for you and get a rebound, kick it out, and I'm running right there, man.
You already know.
Let's go.
You already know.
It would be hard not to
That's
give a play for this
about
energy.
this shit.
We gonna need to pick you up for our fifth. One day we go hoop out to you.
Bam. If you guys ever need a fifth, let me know. I'm game.
Bet it up.
No, for sure. We appreciate you, man. I'm so glad we was able to have you. I can't wait to, hopefully one day, be able to run into you in person and talk without the cameras on and shit. Like I said, major love from us. All real love. We from Chicago. You from Washington. I don't know what y'all do in Washington. I haven't been there. I want to be there, though, but I haven't been there.
You guys got to come to my tournament.
Hey, that would be fun as hell.
Are you in
my little basketball? Another Chi-Town game. Pooh came to the tournament.
Is that you inviting us?
That's me inviting y'all. It's 2 days, August 5th and 6th.
5th and 6th.
Come to Seattle. Y'all never been. The weather's gonna be perfect. You might as well set the wire up out there for one day.
That down.
Yeah.
We're going to have our producer write that down.
And we have NBA guys, so you guys can get some interviews. We be having every NBA guy out here got a team in the tournament.
Let's make it happen.
I'm plugging y'all, so just come.
Bet it up.
Slide out here.
Off the strength. We can't. We disrespectful.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say, in Chicago, and these guys are my witnesses because I do it when I fuck with somebody. I beg. I'm a beggar. I need a signed jersey. I fuck with you. I did it to D Rose. I'm doing it to you. We just did some rookie combines. I asked Anthony Black. I don't know if you know what it is at Arkansas. He needed a league. Yeah. I told his hey, I'll fuck with you. So I need my signed jersey after the first 2 years.
I feel you. I'm on the same shit. I need something signed by y'all. We can do a jersey exchange.
Set it up.
We can do something.
The ultimate
You
jersey.
already know.
My boy.
You already know.
We appreciate you, IT. Can't wait to see you back in the league. We'll be there in August.
Yep.
Much love and respect, man. Super, super appreciative of you taking the time out to chop it up with us. And much love, man. We got major, major love for you, bro.
For sure.
Thank you, bro.
Hey, it's all love. I appreciate y'all. Keep inspiring the world. Y'all doing a hell of a job, bro. All of y'all.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate that, bro.
Peace
You
out.
already know.
You've been preoccupied, but did you get a chance to watch the Miami Heat?
Yeah, I have.
Thoughts?
Um,
And the reason I'm asking you
First of all-
first is
first-
because I'm pissed at you.
why?
Because if your Lakers showed any of this fight, we would have a little bit more basketball.
Okay,
going.
all right, we gotta get to them soon too. But I've been telling people I'm rooting on the Celtics downfall. I don't care no more. Me and D-Mills had to watch a 40, literally the whole game of the Celtics. And what was they down? What was it? 2-0? It was 2-0.
Yeah.
It was 2-0, and I promise you, this is like you would think
They can
Celtics
fight.
gotta come out. This is their home game. They had zero effort, bro.
They lost by almost 30.
We had to watch the whole game, and
This is your first podcast since having to watch that game.
yes,
right.
and that's why I say
Get your shit off.
I'm the Celtics. Y'all piss me off, bro. I hope y'all do lose this damn series too. It only really takes. They just need one Jimmy Butler game for this shit to be over with. But this is the Celtics. I had them literally in the finals. That's what made me so mad about it. They've been doing, I think, a lot better. They've been looking like the Celtics we known over the course of the season, just because they've been having that intensity. I think I mentioned that they do a good job of like getting out of like double coverage or like trapping or zones because they have that little Marcus Smart on the roll, and then they finally just started doing that. I feel like the Heat were playing zone, and they just stopped the Celtics. Like the Celtics didn't know what to do at all, but they're starting to get it moving, and it's just what we kind of expected from them.
It's kind of crazy it took them to be down 0-3 to decide that, we got to take them boys serious. Like that, it's crazy that it came to that point because now you actually see them getting out on shooters, closing out, fighting hard on screens. They was kind of playing like anybody but Jimmy type mode for 3 games, and they realized, oh shit, the other motherfuckers could still beat us. So then they want to try to play hard on them, and it's working. They didn't stole 2 games, but as we know, history says it's gonna be hard for them to actually pull off this 4 straight games of perfect.
I know I said I was hating, but this is the team to make that history.
Yeah,
it really is.
They are the better team. They just play bad.
Yeah,
I think those teams.
The first 2
games,
the first damn near 3 games, they looked like they weren't the Celtics team that we just know. It's just like, oh shit, they got Jaylen Brown looking like he's not engaged and he's ready to be shipped out. They had all this conversation. All the Celtics had to do was come hoop. Yeah, especially anytime Jason Tatum starts the game off at like a good 4 or 5 minutes, I feel like the Celtics just got it. And I'm just as
Robert
many
Williams
cases
has been playing very good, protecting the rim. His presence down low has been very known when it comes to making sure guys ain't getting open layups and shit.
Yeah,
I mean, I agree with what both of y'all are saying. A thing that stood out for me, and I don't want to say it in the way I'm gotta say it because it's gonna make me feel like I'm discrediting Miami, but in these 2 Celtic wins, they have been able to limit a lot of the I don't want to say it, be disrespectful, but like the bullshit and like the others. So like the last game, obviously you don't have Gabe Vincent.
Yeah,
Gabe Vincent is averaging like 17 for the Heat in this series in particular, and he's shooting like 50% from 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I had texted that to my group chat where it's like, what you think of this game? Like, what we finna get in this game? I'm like, Celtics gonna handle them. It sounds crazy, but the Miami Heat don't have Gabe Vincent. Like that's a big. I never thought I would be saying that in a key Eastern Conference matchup. Like,
that's
oh
a big
man,
piece they missing.
Yeah, Gabe Vincent ain't playing this game. Might not be that good, but he's been that type of performer for them where they needed that. You look at the last game. I think Kyle Lowry was very limited. Max Strus very limited. I think Hayward Highsmith and Duncan Robinson had good games, but that's because it was a blowout and they end up playing a lot of minutes. But yeah, if you look at the statistics, Caleb Martin is one of the highest bench scoring players in NBA history.
He's one of the hottest dudes. Yeah.
Yeah, like So it was a matter of time of like how long can that keep up to be able to help the Heat, because Jimmy Butler has been playing good, but he hasn't had Miami Buck type performances in this series.
Yeah, no.
So it's been a team effort, and I feel like that they wanted it more. That Julius Randle said that was the vibe I got from the Heat in the first 3 games, where they just wanted this shit a lot more. The Celtics was real cool, trying to play real cute, and like Darrick said, how many times do you have to lose before you realize the Miami Heat willing to take a game?
In the first couple games, like Jason Tatum dead ass looked scared.
Yeah,
I like
turnovers.
He dead ass looked like he was just nervous up there. On some real shit, he really did. And I know it was kind of like after the point. I think it was after they lost game 3 or whatever. He's like, yeah, I turned my social media off, like, because he already know, like he looks like he plays the first couple games. He looked like he played. He knew that backlash was coming. He was scared to kind of play. But like you said, back against the wall, I seen somebody else talk about Jason Tatum in elimination games and how well he plays.
But every game from here on out has been.
But yeah, that's the whole point, though. I mean, Jimmy Butler, the Heat. I know you was talking about all the bullshit they got and how they didn't literally been having like miracle performances from players.
Yeah,
they're up 3-0. They not 3-0, but they have 3 games. They just need one more.
They just need one more.
But don't let the Celtics get one more.
But if those
this is game 7 for the Celtics.
Game 6 is game 7.
Yeah, game 6 is game 7 for the Heat.
Yeah, for the Heat, because you would hate to lose 3 games in a row, going back to Boston and letting this team have all of the confidence in the world, and now you got one of your key factors in the series hobbled. So yeah, I think Gabe Vincent will play tonight. If it goes to game 7, he'll probably play, but he's going to be on a bummed ankle. We are aware that the ankle ain't the same, and yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what game is this. Game 2, Caleb Martin outscored Jaylen Brown.
How much did he have? Like,
Smart combined.
How much did he have?
25.
Okay, I thought he had 27. Yeah, that's he
so
just
it's like,
a lot of the Heat role players have just not been missing. Like with Gabe Vincent missing out too. It's just like they don't have that luxury of Kyle Lowry at the bench. Now he's back in that starting lineup.
Yeah.
And then last game, Darrick White showed. He really showed out.
He was a guy for the Celtics, and that's the part where I'm looking at with like the Celtics can start getting this momentum, which they have, and they was able to parlay it into a second win if they can keep going. Because in that last game that we just watched, game 5, everybody was making shots. Everybody in that first quarter, that first half. I've been talking about Marcus Smart raining threes, Darrick White hitting threes, Malcolm Brogdon hit 3, Jason Tatum was making shots, Jaylen Brown. Everybody was splat out.
Then you get second chance looks at it too off the offensive rebounds.
And I love the turnovers that they was forcing. I was able to get them a big lead, let them get comfortable, get their mojo going. They're going to have to replicate that. The defenses was helping them, the Boston Celtics right now, in my opinion, because that defense allows those easy looks. Because Miami gets back in transition. They're going to limit the transition looks. So it's tough to get those easy buckets.
They were also fighting over screens. Like I talk about it with that Clippers scene too. Like there's too much switching going around. Y'all got to fight.
Yeah,
y'all got to fight around these screens, and they played a lot better like individual defense and keeping people in front of them.
And the band that we saw the entire playoff run for the most part, he didn't really show up in this game. Thought he tried to show out a little bit in the second half, but he definitely didn't have that same impact. Neither did Jimmy. Jimmy didn't have a great game either. I expect both of them to play better tonight, though. I think tonight's going to be a very much a dogfight type game. And I think we're going to get a crazy Jimmy game.
He's one of the best at, like, just knowing when it's time to take over.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, in the first 6-8 minutes of the game, we seen he's got one of those 10-point quarters, you know, like almost immediately.
I definitely might get on that parlay with Jimmy. I think Jimmy going to go for 35 plus tonight.
So you predicting the Miami Heat win?
Yeah.
I hope so. I'm rooting against the Celtics. So I'm hoping for the Heat tonight.
Let's see what the betting odds say.
You're going for the Heat tonight, but what do you think as an analyst who ain't being childish saying you're going for the Heat? What do you think is going to happen?
I dead ass believe the Heat are going to win. They only need, in my mind, they only need one game. And like I said, they have one of the best playoff performances.
They've only needed one the last 2 games.
They have. But you know how I feel. When you have that, when it's like that room for, like, they would just been lackadaisical, honestly. And it's been the other way around. It's been like the Celtics knocking down the shots, Miami Heat missing. You need just a pure Jimmy Butler game. And we haven't seen that in since game 1. I don't even know. It's been like maybe game 2. But it's just
True,
like,
yeah.
wouldn't he have like 6 steals or some shit like that?
Yep.
But it's just like, wait, we need a Jimmy Butler game to get them over the hump.
6 steals. He had the 3. Was that over Brogdon? I that's also when I'm happy. The last couple of games, Jason Tatum is guarding Jimmy or Jaylen Brown will get matched up on him. I never understood those first couple games. It was like down the stretch, Malcolm Brogdon, you guard him.
Derrick
Grant
White, yeah,
Williams.
it's like Derrick and Jimmy Butler is literally just schooling them. It's embarrassing them.
So,
As
yeah.
great of a
Defenders
defender
on.
Darrick White is, sometimes he does just with the bigger guards like Jimmy's or like we saw last year with Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah,
Very
they
limited.
just so much bigger and stronger than him. He's like
Yeah.
a 6'4" guard, and these are 6'7", 6'8" wings.
And Jimmy Butler is so good. He's gonna fight through that contact.
Yeah, he's so strong.
Like,
Jimmy
he
Butler's
live in
strong
the
as
paint.
hell.
He
He
had a
literally-
dunk. Was that the last game where Darrick White chased him down?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
fouled him, and he still. I'm like, damn, like, that was a lot of contact, and he still was able to finish. It's gonna be interesting, man. I hate to say it, but D Mill's line about the role players playing better at home. Not that they playing better at home, but to me, that's what it's gonna be about, and it's always what it's about. But are we gonna get a Duncan Robinson game tonight? Is Kyle Lowry gonna have a
That's
game
all
where
it
he hits
take.
3 threes?
I think that's all it really takes.
Is Cody Zeller gonna come off the bench and get you 4 offensive rebounds, or is Grant Williams gonna do that, or is Grant Williams gonna hit a couple threes, or is Darrick White gonna have another night? That's what I'm looking for. I think whoever wins tonight, they have to have an X factor. Whether it's Caleb Martin, at this point, Caleb Martin is not even an X factor, but Max Strus, Caleb Martin, somebody, Kevin Love.
Or Gabe Vincent just miraculously just have another 17-point game and just look good.
I mean, I'm thinking that Eric Spoelstra already kind of is like heading that direction. He knows, obviously, Jimmy Butler. He's, depending on Jimmy Butler do what he does. I feel like he's got to get Max Strus going, or one of these shooters going, and he's gonna have to try to get that going in like the first quarter. So.
And what's going to happen with that is that what's going to help that is if Jimmy is aggressive and going out and being like that 40-point guy in this crazy closeout game, because then they're going to double him. Now you swinging the ball around. Miami moves the ball very well.
They do.
They will make that extra pass
That's-
every time,
yes.
and they will find Max Strus for
That's
open
another
looks.
thing about that Celtics defense that I was not feeling. Is just like at points they were letting anybody walk past them.
Yes.
It didn't matter if it was Jimmy Butler or Duncan Robinson.
Robinson.
Like you said, they've been doing a lot better job at that, but he have shown that they can do it.
That's why I like the point that you made about the switching and fighting on a certain thing. They'll still switch, but it's if they have to. The thing about switching defense is you have to constantly communicate nonstop, because if me and you are switching and we just did it the last 2 plays, and then it's one play, I'm like, oh, okay, are we gonna switch? But you had fought through, so you may not want to switch this, but we both still win, and now somebody is open in Miami Heat. Like you said, the ball movement hurts the switches because it makes it a scramble defense all of a sudden. We switching and switching and switching, but this certain defensive possession, we may not need to switch because I fought through, or he didn't screen me as hard, but you still in your mind on switching. Or this one play, we didn't switch on the last one, so now you think we're not switching no more, and we both go into the screener, and now the guy's open for a 3. So it's just... I love the way that they've been defending. I'm rooting for them to win. I don't know what type of shit y'all on.
They're the
but
favorite
to have a team come back from 3-0 as a basketball talking head. I want that. I don't know why anybody who's not a Heat fan wouldn't want that. That like our job would be fantastic to be able to get here and talk about a potential Game 7 where Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, Bam, Jaylen Brown, all of these guys got to go throw it out in Boston, and we either going to have a tremendous downfall and a tremendous come up, or a bunch of shit that was wasted for no reason. But it's theatrical. It's
It is
dramatic.
theatrical. It is theatrical at this point. I think it would be good, but like I said, this is a series for it. I mean, what was they, the 2 seed?
Yep, the 2 seed versus 8 seed.
So yeah, this been so magic for the 8 seed that I don't know. I feel like it's just be like the story that caps it off if they just kind of like finished it off and went to the finals.
One thing the Celtics have done is that in those first 3 games, they did a lot of crying. They was crying for every call. They was going to the basket, falling on the ground. Now the Heat 4-on-5, trail 3s. Like they fucked themselves over for the first 3 games just by crying to the refs alone. And now they just decide they're gonna come out and hoop, because you can't really just sit up here and cry to the refs the whole time. Sometimes you just gotta put it on yourself.
Yeah, I remember Marcus Smart was doing a lot of that, and I felt like He could have. Did he get attacked one of those games? But I was like, it feels like he's trying to get his team riled
It seemed
up.
like he was
Like
on that Draymond Green type shit, but
yeah,
it really
he was
wasn't.
trying to get his team riled up. But again, he was complaining to the refs. Nah, it's not like he was barking at Jason Tatum or something.
Yeah, and honestly, that barking to the ref shit. Why would that even fire
I'm
up
sick
your
of people
teammates?
talking about the calls and the refs are deciding the games, bro. It's so many other factors. I think the ref shit stands out, but it's too many plays to look at where it's team oriented and team based that you are losing the game than to say it's the damn refs and they missed the call.
Miami beat them on offensive glass. They Boston beat Miami on offensive glass.
Mm-hmm.
Miami almost doubled the Celtics in turnovers. I think it was like 9-16. Miami did get to the free throw line less, but that's what happens when you turn the ball over and kind of have a discombobulated half or start to the game. And then, that was just moments where they was getting their ass kicked and, they had to throw in like Hayward Highsmiths and Duncan Robinson for 30 minutes. No disrespect to them, but they kind of threw that tile in, especially when Gabe Vincent got hurt. One thing I do respect about both teams is they fight and they play. I know the Celtics had quit in one of those games where they had Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum on the bench early, but I was watching this game like, damn, why the fuck is Jimmy playing? This game is over. Why is Jimmy still in the game? You know what I mean? So,
he gonna try. Jimmy's gonna try regardless.
What y'all expect from Bam tonight?
I'm expecting a very good game from Bam. I think he's gonna look at that last game and think he's much better than that. And I think he's gonna give us a good 25 and 10, little 8 assists.
25 and 10.
25 and 10. That might be like a plus at least 750 in the parlay. I would say I think he gonna need at least 20. I feel like it's so hard to tell with Bam because it's some games he be going crazy and other games it's like holy shit, Bam.
But he hasn't had one of those holy shit. That like last game was like probably the last like.
But it wasn't even a holy. I feel some of it was holy shit.
Had 25 and 10 in this series either.
Another is just like
17
it's
and
fucking
9
Al
games,
Horford and Robert Williams that's playing very good defense on him too.
Yeah,
Al Horford, you got to give him credit. As old as a dinosaur he is, he still got some in that tank.
Yeah, he did a great job on Joel. So when you can guard Joel, it's not really many people you can't guard.
The only thing I say is, last game Bam had 0 free throw attempts, and he took 15 shots.
He tried to get to the rim at least, but I don't know.
Sometimes
you got to bounce
don't
back.
go your way.
Before we switch topics, biggest X factor for both of these teams in these last two games.
Max Strus. Max Strus has been a big reason why they are in this situation. So I'm gonna need him to continue with it. And Darrick White, they need that consistent perimeter 3-point shooting from him. And if not, then that allows the Heat to probably like sag off him a little bit, double, make it hard for Tatum and Brown. Just your shooters got to be able to shoot. And I feel like I know what I'm getting from Caleb Martin at this point.
Yeah, last 3 games, Strus is 4 of 17 from 3.
See,
Yeah, he too good of a shooter for me.
Versus the first 2 games, he was 5 of 10 from 3, shooting at a 50% clip. Now he's kind of hitting a rough patch.
Yeah, shooters gonna shoot though. I don't know. He's due. I would just say he's due.
Yeah, and if anything, it's probably gonna happen tonight
at home.
Yeah.
I would say Kyle Lowry. It just seems like when he's giving you some work too, it just feels like it feels like one of the moments like this shit is too much. Like, okay, we know Jimmy and Bam go do their thing, but now it's Kyle Lowry too. So I'm gonna say him, and then off the for the Celtics, I'm gonna say the 2 stars. I think their energy just kind of like flows throughout the roster. If they're like not, if they don't come out with the right intensity, I feel like the Celtics just come out flat. So I'm gonna say the Jays for the Celtics.
Yeah, we saw that in game 3 where Marcus Smart was the only one that seemed like he was playing with energy, and Tatum and Brown still kind of just like their energy still wasn't there. So then they end up losing by almost 30. Like they definitely had to come out and punch first, because the Miami gonna come out and punch. Jimmy is gonna come out and show his.
Everybody got a game plan until you get punched in the mouth.
That sounds like such an old hiss.
It is literally that's a saying.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I think it was what Mike Tyson.
That was
I
Mike
think
Tyson?
I heard Mike Tyson say it before.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it come from like boxing or fighting. It's like everybody got a game plan until you get hit in the mouth. You know exactly what you would do if me and you was finna fight, but
I was watching.
You could have hit you. Like,
I was watching. You seen the movie The Harder They Fall? It's got like Idris Elba in it. It's got Jonathan Majors in it.
I've
It's
never
a cow.
seen that, but yeah, I've heard.
It's a
about
cowboy
It. It's on
with-
Netflix for a while.
It's a scene where it's a dude and he waiting on Idris Elba. His name like Rufus Buck or something. But he a bad Rufus Buck a bad motherfucker. He waiting on him, and he in his head he's like, yeah. He said, "You thought you was just finna come in here, and like you thought you was finna take over my town. Now you better rethink what you doing, and you got until I finish my steak." They knocked on the door. They said he wants you downstairs. You know what he did? Got his ass knocked out.
The nigga who said you got till I'm done with my steak.
Yeah, he was doing it in his head. He was practicing. He had his game plan, but that shit is not how it went.
I agree with you though. My biggest X factor for the Miami Heat is Kyle Lowry. I agree completely with what you said. Game 1 showed it. When Kyle Lowry is giving you anything, it's just like another fucking blow. He's already really good with the second unit. That's why it's big if Gabe Vincent plays or starts or whatever. Kyle Lowry is already good because he's just a competitor. I was gonna say competitor. He has the experience. He does the little things. I'll never forget the play he had when he went and chased down Robert Williams, who ended up going 1-for-1 at the free throw line. Like that just hunger and fight. And I think he gives them good control and good pace with that bench unit, empowers guys. So you take all of that, and now he's making shots, 3 threes in a corner. I mean, in a quarter, transition pull-up threes and shit like that. Now it's like, holy shit, you already got to worry about Jimmy. You already got to worry about Bam. Now you got Kyle
I already got
Lowry.
worried about Caleb Martin.
Now you worry about Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin, and then you got the shooters running around where like Kevin Love you can disregard, but he is still capable of knocking down shots. Max Strus you don't have to give too much attention to, but he's still capable of knocking down shots. Duncan Robinson, he's capable of knocking down shots. So you got all of these motherfuckers who can go off and hit 4 or 5 threes in a game, and then on top of that, you got Kyle Lowry having a nerve to be running around this bitch letting it fly.
The audacity of Kyle Lowry.
Taking a charge? Come on now.
That's just another fucking fold. But I feel the same exact way for the Celtics with their X factor and Marcus Smart. When Marcus Smart is making shots for them, it just adds on to the fucking onslaught of what Jason Tatum, Darrick White, or Jaylen Brown is doing to you on the offensive end. Marcus Smart is supposed to be heart and soul. He's supposed to be Draymond. He makes all of the little plays. He has the effort, and defensively he's going to do that. You take all of those things, and on top of it, he's giving you 3 threes in a game. Like imagine if Draymond, if we watched the Warriors and we saw Draymond hit 2 threes, we like, oh yeah, ain't no way in hell they losing this.
I'm pretty
All
sure their
that nigga
record
hits-
is crazy good.
He just has to hit 1 3. He just has to hit
Right,
1 3, and we
So-
like, holy shit, they got it this
The
game.
last 2 games, Marcus Smart has had 4, and he has 3. He's 7 of 17 from 3 in the last 2 games versus the first 3 games, he was 3 of 10.
Mhm.
He shot 30% through the first 3 games, and now he's 7 threes last 2 games. So we go into today's game, and Marcus Smart give you another 3 threes or something like that. I just feel like that's just a
That's
cherry
another
on top.
parlay right there, D
Just
Mills.
another cherry on top, man. It's just another cherry on top. But another thing that came from this series, and I know y'all saw, the Eric Lewis shit.
Oh yeah, I literally was just looking at that. The tweets. Yeah,
Talking
he
about
got
his
the burner
burner shit?
account.
Yeah.
I
The NBA is supposedly investigating this. Is that bullshit or is that rightful?
I think it's bullshit. I think it's somebody that's posing as that type of shit. Cause I remember that same shit talking about this the KCP burner or this Contavious Caldwell Pope burner. It's just like people know what they're doing.
I didn't.
yeah.
I didn't know that there was an issue with refs. There's an issue with a ref having a burner account, just talking.
You didn't see that? It's basically like I think it was just like under a lot of
Like I saw the
tweets.
tweets, but like I don't think he was saying anything terrible.
I mean, he was just always he was always defending
defending
He was
himself,
always,
yeah.
But I think in some of those tweets he may have like shitted on. He may have said some shit where he was shit, like he was defending, and I think he may have said something.
I didn't read it all because, like I said, I didn't really.
The thing
I think it was
is,
kind of bullshit.
There's a conspiracy, not a conspiracy, but here's the thing:
Yeah.
Eric Lewis is a Celtic fan, or his family is a Celtic fan.
Oh,
So I believe in some of those tweets he may have like shitted like, no, them motherfuckers was just playing weak, or he might have said some shit like that because I didn't read every single one because it's a whole profile.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But you seeing anything?
Let's see, what is this? I know he just said I don't think he was the problem.
I don't think he was a problem. That motherfucker just couldn't buy a basket tonight. But yeah, he's a Celtic fan. There's pictures of him and his family.
I seen the Celtics shit before.
Which I don't think is a problem. He could be a Celtics fan.
I feel like there's gotta
Lakers
be.
are being swept by Eric Lewis, and then this account says, "Don't think he was ever the problem."
On some real, if you had to think so, and like the refs in the NBA, because a lot of these dudes are like 30 and like these are older dudes. You don't think they have like families that are sports fans at all?
Exactly.
So it's like they're gonna be a fan of a fucking team.
And I guess people are saying that LeBron is 0-82 against Eric Lewis.
How the
And he's
hell you
saying,
mispronounce Lewis?
so you believe anything, bro? That's not a stat. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird to think that there is a burner account defending Eric Lewis, but like, I don't know. It is kind of crazy.
I'm just gonna say this. We probably should have said at the top of the show, but assuming the diehards are already, making it to this point, we do have the information for the Miami show. It's gonna be Thursday,
Yeah.
June 15th. Doors open at 5:30. Show is at 6 p.m. It's at Oasis Wynwood.
Yeah. So all of that's going to be updated. Y'all can be able to go to that link in the description. RSVP Miami. We on the way. June 15th. That's a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
So check y'all calendars and y'all schedules and clear out all of the dates so you can meet us at the Oasis, you said?
Yep.
Whatever it's called. It don't even matter. It'll be
Oasis Wynwood.
It'll be in the shit. But be ready to come meet us. We lit.
Yeah, link
Another
should be
thing
in
I
the
want to say
description,
on
y'all.
top of that, though, is, and I appreciate the love, you cannot keep asking us for date. We know, we announce it when we know. I keep getting DMs constantly like, hey, do you know when y'all coming here or ever?
They be asking when you leaving out. I be like, damn, what you trying to meet me at the airport?
It's like we couldn't. People kept saying, we know y'all coming to Miami. What's the date? What's the date? I don't know, so I can't tell you a day if I don't know it. It's like people not. Oh, I heard y'all coming to Toronto. What do you know? Do you know? I don't know, or we would announce it. Like I literally can't tell you anything, and it'd be the same people asking the same. Like I literally don't. I don't know what you want me to do. So there's the day for Miami. When we have the other
June
information
15th.
for anything else, we're gonna drop it. But June 15th, and yeah, Eric Lewis, the burner. Some of the shit that the burner is saying, I just don't think Eric Lewis would be talking like that, saying, bruh. I think the NBA has to realize that social media is a lot more smarter than they think. So there's somebody out there that's smart enough to fucking pretend to be the burner of a random ass referee just to cause conversation. Because it don't make sense to be LeBron's burner. So shit, I'm going to be Austin Reeves or I'm gonna be Max Christie burner and act like I'm shitting on my teammates to get attention.
Yeah,
The account was made in 2015, so I don't know. That's a long time.
You follow?
that's it.
No.
I'm just fucking with you.
You talking about that Eric Lewis,
Yeah.
Eric Lewis burner?
Yeah.
You fucked up Lewis too. He was talking all this shit. So how you fuck up her?
2015. If I see your account was made in 2015, I think you're somewhat OG on Twitter. If your shit says like 2020, I'm like, oh, okay. You just made this mo.
When was yours made?
I think it was like 2012, 2011.
I should say January 2009.
Let's see what mine's saying.
OG's the Twitter right here.
I was made in
You were made?
August 2009.
Okay. How many tweets you got?
Oh, that's
I
a
don't
good
think it
question.
says.
It does. You have to scroll.
You got to
up.
scroll down a little bit on your main page.
46.7K.
Damn, you have 46,000?
Where you see this at?
So like you go to your profile
I'm on it.
and then scroll up. Just scroll up a little bit.
I have 11.4 thousand
You should say
tweets.
right at the top left.
Oh,
Yeah, 60,000. 70,000. Ain't no fucking way.
100K.
Bro, what's the fucking number though?
I have 111,000.
Damn.
Crazy. That's fucking insane.
Let's see
bro.
how many KB has.
That
KB
means-
only has 34,000 tweets.
But
That's
his
still
second-
3 times-
That's his second account.
Yeah.
Oh
Y'all
yeah, it
have
is.
been through accounts.
Yeah.
I've had this one account.
I've only had one account
I've only
too.
had
I
my
basically-
one account.
Yeah, I had 2 accounts. But I don't know. I probably got like 1,000 tweets on another account.
You know, I've only had one account, and so that's
Yeah, I was
45, 46K is.
I was one of the first people in like my friend group to be on Twitter. I was on Twitter extremely early. 2009, I had just started high school.
Mhm.
And so I've been on my shit active for a long time. because it was new.
I just came across Cone's account.
Mm-hmm.
He made his account in 2016. He already has 112,000 tweets.
Shit.
Holy fuck.
That's such a small short span for over
He made his shit
100,000
7
tweets.
years after, and he has the same, more tweets than me.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
That's
fucking
making me-
tweeting.
Well, this guy, he got them Twitter fingers.
He's probably like me. I'm also a person that, like, on my birthdays, I used to say thank you to literally every fucking body.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, thank you,
yeah.
thank you, thank you, thank
That's
you.
that-
Appreciate, thank
That
you.
Lil B ass shit.
Fan interaction. I was also like, when
The
we
king
first
of fan
started,
interactions.
I would literally reply back to everybody. Hey man, the Knicks suck. No, they don't, because blah 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 blah. Da, da, da. I got so many discussions and shit about music, sports, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, Lil B has 266,000 tweets.
That seems like
Little.
not as much as
You
I
said
would thought.
266,000?
Yeah.
But I think Lil B don't tweet as much. He be tweeting. Well, I'll take that back,
He used to.
because he be tweeting.
I don't know if he
pictures and
does
shit,
now.
Girls. So
I know. So I missed it on Tuesday. I'm assuming y'all talked about the Lakers getting their ass bust or whatever like that.
Oh yeah, I forgot you. Go ahead. I got other shit to talk about, but yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's been, honestly, I'm going to keep it short because it's just whatever at this point. It's already a couple of days.
No, fuck.
I think-
it pisses me off that we don't have no more like yesterday. It was no basketball. If
Yeah.
the Lakers could have just they
That's
have to
what I'm
win this
saying.
fight.
Yeah. I had I don't have no more Lakers chains I could do no more because they out. But in all honesty, I think it was a good season.
It was.
It was a good season. I think it would be greedy to be like, man, we could have been to the finals and all that. I got to be, happy what we had. Good season. I kind of want to talk about the LeBron retirement shit.
Let's talk about that. It's one of my notes in my phone.
He's gonna play next. I have no doubt that he's gonna probably play next year.
Yeah.
The rumor is that he's going to fulfill his contract.
Yeah, he's gonna do that, and he got the option after the year after, which I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna. I don't know if he's gonna take it because he's probably wants to go play with Bronny.
Yeah.
He's played with Bronny, but in my head, I was just also thinking because people have been asking me like, all the LeBron like age shit and like how many years he's got left to play in the NBA. I really think if he wanted to, he could do that Tom Brady shit. He could really just keep playing.
Oh, for sure. LeBron has a lot left in the tank. He just showed us. He dropped 40, 10, and 9.
Yeah, and
I mean, in the last fucking game.
Yeah, but how many 38-year-olds are
But-
dropping those kind of stats?
and it's like I wish because like part of me is like, I think
That's like Kobe 60. Kobe had 60 on the way out, but that wasn't an indication that he should have played for 4 more.
yeah, because I think it comes down to like what LeBron thinks about like how he wants to approach the game. Because he could be, if he really wanted to, and he's getting to that 20th career, he could be a fucking role player off the bench for as long, probably a decent amount of time.
I think LeBron will probably for always be a starter.
Mm-hmm.
He's always going to be better than a lot of the people in your roster.
if he's this is also just like me assuming or
Who
whatever.
he is going to be the best player on your roster.
Yeah.
Because like
If he's hooping at 42 years old, I don't even want to play no 82 game season because I mean he's still for the most part he's probably thinking about the playoffs. I'm not saying he ring chasing, but he at that point I would think he like in your career you're kind of like more focused on that than his accolades.
it's just
He
tough
could
for
go out and
LeBron.
get him a 6th man of the year if he felt like it.
Nah,
just
I don't
add
think
the
so.
two.
I don't think so.
I don't think.
Why you
Yeah,
say
I don't
that?
think LeBron's
Because
coming off
he's
the
never
bench.
gonna come off.
He's
the
never
bench.
gonna come off the
Why are
bench.
you
No.
saying that?
LeBron's always going to be
'Cause I think
the
about it,
second
I don't
or third
remember-
best player.
His teams have literally hindered because of his play style. When you go and play with him, that's the thing about LeBron. It's like I think he could play for some years too, but the thing of it is how he plays and how he has to be, involved.
Yeah.
It can hurt and affect other people.
Mhm.
So it's like that's the Tom Brady thing where like, yeah, he can go, but
'Cause
it's like he has to be when he's on the floor, he has to command the basketball. He is not he hasn't transitioned his game enough to where LeBron is going to be an off-ball spot-up shooter
Mhm.
or he's going to be playing in a post. He has to be a point forward-ish player.
I would assume his role would be kind of like point forward. If he was a role player coming off the bench, I would assume him to be a point forward rather than like him transition kind of like how Melo did to like more of a spot up or
Right.
anything like that. I want to give some. It was a long time ago, but it was just talking about like I think I'm talking about the Knicks and just how Patrick Ewing was getting up there in age. It's like one of the hardest things to do as a franchise is to deal with those aging stars because just so much you want to give them so much respect and obviously they deserve it. But it's like it's just a transition to like you said, say he's on a team that's he's demanding the ball a little bit, but they're also trying to get their young guys going.
or it's not even that they want to get the young guys going. You may have somebody on a team who may be better with the ball.
Yeah.
So if the Lakers went out and got Kyrie Irving, or if they didn't get Kyrie Irving, but it's like, how are we leveraging it to the point where we showing LeBron respect and he's able to be LeBron, but we also got this guy who at this point may be better to have the ball in his hands down the stretch of a game. And I think that's the thing that we've seen in these latter years of like the Lakers can't just go get Russell Westbrook because he still has to coexist with LeBron. And even though LeBron is older and you want to just let him coast, it's like when he does come back to the team, you now have Russell Westbrook, LeBron, and Anthony Davis on the floor together, and that spacing and that how are you operating it? The LeBron James teams have always needed specific pieces around him to fit how he wants to play.
And this is how I feel
But it used to be acceptable because LeBron was in his prime and he could carry you through a season. He can lock up the other team. He's not doing that anymore.
I mean, I've seen it kind of gradually build up over the course of the years. Just like you don't want LeBron to constantly bring the ball up because, I mean, if I'm on defense and I'm a defensive minded coach, I'm thinking like make him work up the court every time. Yeah. Why not? And it just got to the point where it's like, damn, LeBron, you damn nigga in the 8-second violation because the nigga pressuring you at the ball. Like
that's something else also in the NBA without that is a pet peeve.
What, the 8-second?
They just play with it so much.
Oh yeah,
I know. I wish they would enforce this shit.
That's what I'm saying.
I wish they would enforce it.
It's a lot of times the guys get over and he try to hurry up and step his foot over. What took you so long? You just casually just.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
I wish they would enforce that
until like the 14-second mark.
Yeah,
and it's like if I was a ref, I dead ass would be looking at this. I'd be wanting to call that shit on the motherfucker.
There's a lot of times I watch and I'm like,
15.
Was that not 8 seconds?
Yeah, because I immediately look at it. As soon as they hit that 6 second or 16 seconds on the shot clock, 15 seconds, I'm looking at they cross that line. It's like
they were talking about it on the broadcast and maybe earlier one of these series. It's when it hit 15.
It's when it hit 15.
Yeah, they gave him that extra second.
For what? These dudes
8 seconds have to go by. Yeah. I used to think shit.
If it's
24 to 16 is 8, but the 8 second has to go by.
Oh,
because like what? Unless even when you being pressured, you just turn a motherfucker, go up the court. They literally, even guys who ain't even being pressured, just
casually walking
and
the
then
ball.
All of a sudden it's like, oh shit, let me try to get over.
And they'll be realizing too, they be grabbing the rebound. It'd be an uncontested rebound. Grab it down. Look around for 2 seconds. Then I'm gonna start casually dribbling up the ball. You already wasted like a second and a half.
For sure.
How do y'all feel about them rolling the ball and just letting
I don't mind that.
I don't care.
I don't either. Especially if the clock's rolling and the other team's just not gonna come up and make you.
KD was getting mad.
The clock don't roll.
No, the clock, the game clock rolls, but the shot clock doesn't.
It depends on what. It depends how. It depends how the ball's been taken out.
If it's a dead ball,
and it stops,
it stops.
Yeah, if it's after a made basket, the clock will still.
Yeah, the clock will still run.
The clock will still run.
Yeah,
I think it's like it has to be.
But I don't think nobody rolls it for that purpose.
They roll it just to let the clock run, just to let the time.
I've seen teams
I think
do
they roll it so that the shot clock don't start and so the game clock don't start. Because if I want to waste time,
yeah.
But I see what you're saying.
It goes both ways because for the dead ball, the time stops. So I think it can go either way.
Yeah.
It can go either way. I seen KB was getting mad because Jeff Van Gundy was getting mad at it.
Yeah, Jeff Van Gundy be getting pissed at that stuff, bro.
I think it's honestly, I mean, if you're up and you got time to waste and the shot clock and the game clock's moving, I don't care. The other team, they gonna do something about it. Please go do something about it.
I get it from a loser standpoint. We want to preserve as much time, but if I'm winning, what am I scared?
Just take time off the clock, because I mean, time is not. If I'm winning,
time is the most valuable team to the losing team.
If I'm winning and time is on my side, it's not on their side. So them losing that time.
Hooping.
Get your team set up. Catch your breath a little quick. Catch your breath. Get your offense set up.
I ain't got to shoot it in 2 seconds, but shit, I ain't
scared. Catch your breath. Get your. I feel like that's some old head shit to do.
Yeah.
What?
Just like them little tricks, like catch your breath, get the offense going. I remember you seen that shit with Brian. Who was it? I think Kevin Durant shared it, and Brian was like, "Oh, that's true as hell." It's like this that old head move.
Oh, he act like you tired.
You act like you tired. You take that breath. And you go. I'm gonna have to steal that.
But no, I feel you though.
That's we was talking about LeBron. Yeah, LeBron. I think the retirement shit was capped.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
He's playing with Bronny.
It's so evident, right? It's so evident.
But then they asked him. He said that may not be Bronny's best. Like that might be my best interest, but that may not be Bronny's best interest.
Which I agree with.
Yeah,
You're gonna come into his whole. his whole identity is gonna be
I ain't
crushed
gonna lie.
and spotlighted by you.
It'd be raw as hell if they checking into the game together. I ain't gonna lie. That would be a dope ass.
It'll be raw
moment.
as hell to see them go against each other too.
Yeah,
They don't have to be on the same team, and I do agree with Bron in that sense of like, yeah, Bronny gonna finally make it have his own moment, which you gonna join the team, and it's gonna be all about you now.
It's like he end up trading Bronny down the stretch like this.
And now the
shit
front
just
office
not
like,
cutting.
okay, how can we construct this roster to make us compete for a championship?
But the funny thing I will say is, based off what I've seen from Bronny so far, he is the type of guard that would complement LeBron. He can play on the ball, off the ball. He defends. He can get out in transition and run and finish above the rim. Like, that's the type of guard.
It gets to that point.
Like a DeAnthony Melton.
At what point did you think, like, as a franchise, we just saying we'll take you in, LeBron. We're not building around you because you're 40 years old at this point.
Oh, any new team that he would go to.
Right.
If I'm any team and LeBron is like, okay, I'm done with the Lakers for whatever reason, I'm not bringing him in to him to be the centerpiece. But that's the dangerous thing about LeBron is he don't know no other way. So
Yeah,
how do you get him
I
without
don't see a
committing
world
to that?
where he don't get a max either.
Yeah, no, I think
because it's not even like his matches
The
productivity,
popularity.
but it's just like it's just like
And he
it's not
know-
even worth
yeah.
his time if it's not a max.
and he knows how much money he's gonna bring to your organization.
Mhm.
It's not,
Those
yeah.
tickets are gonna sell, and
And
your
so you already
yeah,
hindering
everybody's-
your damn roster because it's like
your
now we
jersey
got-
sales about to go crazy because I'm now here.
But at the same time, for me,
Mhm.
how valuable is that in the sense of winning? Because you got to think about it. You are going to have to strip your roster. You are going to have to go out and find specific pieces for LeBron. And at this stage in his career, is that the formula when you look at the Lakers' success? No. So it's no disrespect to LeBron, but I think smart teams would stay away unless you already got an infrastructure. Unless you're the Warriors who got Steph, Clay, and fucking Wiggins, and Draymond leaves or something, you'd be like, hey, bro, you want to come over here and fuck with us? I ain't doing it. I'm not finna be Charlotte. Like, LeBron, come on, Bron, come play in Charlotte, and we gonna build this around you. Like, no. Or who else? The fucking
The Spurs.
yeah, Houston,
Houston
or
Rockets
yeah,
say
come
fuck it,
on.
we ain't get James Harden. Hey, we getting LeBron
We
James.
gonna get you anything you want. Come do. Them days is over. I think you would have to already have something built, and I think that's why the Lakers are doing what they do because you already have the pairing of him and Anthony Davis, and
Anthony
shit
Davis
now
is-
Austin Reeves.
Y'all think Anthony Davis will ever officially take the keys?
I think he did already.
You think he did?
He was
this
a-
playoff run. It was him.
He was our best player.
Yeah, for sure.
It's always gonna be the name shit with LeBron James,
For sure.
no matter what.
And his leadership. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anthony Davis obviously looks at LeBron as like an older brother and a leader in that standpoint. But I definitely think as far as production, performance, and value, Anthony Davis is definitely taking the keys, especially after this postseason. I want to ask the same type of question to you. The Portland Trailblazers, and I know we've talked about it and it's going to be an ongoing conversation, but it's like they keep talking about this third pick.
Yeah.
And the more they talk about it, the more it makes it seem like they're not going to trade it. They just said something like they would want an elite player in return. And it's just like,
There's no elite players available.
yeah.
And that's honestly the direction. That's how the front office should think, because I hope they don't go out here and do something dumb
Right.
where they traded for a Siakam. Not saying Siakam is a bad player.
It just keeps you in the same.
Yeah, you're not going to get any better. So you might as well just take your young guy, B. Miller, or either Scoot, or whoever you think is valuable enough to come in, and then you just run with it. I know Dame hasn't requested a trade, so they're going to keep playing with that. And then don't trade Shaedon Sharp either for some bullshit either. So just stay pat. And if something comes available, yes, you act on it. But right now, just take your pick, develop. Maybe Dame eventually be like, all right, it ain't shit here. You going to get 3-4 first rounders for him probably. And then,
Depending on how long he comes to that conclusion.
yeah.
Every year that go by is with like one less draft pick. Because he just got
Yeah.
that much older and he that much closer to that, outlandish ass price tag that's at the end of these contracts of guys like him, Jimmy Butler, and who else? Somebody else got like a crazy with like that. Like one of those last year, these dudes
I
is
think
making
isn't it Giannis?
55, 60 million.
Isn't it Giannis?
But Giannis ain't old. I'm
Well, yeah,
thinking, like
yeah.
older guys.
Oh.
I can't remember. Maybe it's Bradley Beal.
Oh, yeah, Bradley Beal. Bradley
Like,
Beal signed that deal.
The
Yep.
last years of those contracts, if y'all look at them, it's like 55 or 60 million in 1 year. That used to be like 3 years of a motherfucker's contract. Now
Yeah.
those guys going to be getting that at 38, 39. For me, I would have to start. They should start thinking about front loading it. let me pay Damian Lillard $60 million right now. I want to pay him while he's the most valuable. I don't want to have him at 39 and pay him. But I know the way that the CBA is, the cap.
Yeah, it goes
you probably
up.
can't. Yeah, it goes up, so you can't give him a 6. But they should create some rules, because I think that's kind of unfair to organizations. Because you have to pay them for the money to go up, but that's when they're going to be the least valuable.
Yeah.
I'm paying him at 39 years old $60 million. Nobody's going to want him. He's not going to be as valuable to us, and it's going to just put our team in a fucked up situation.
Mm-hmm.
And even if Damian Lillard was playing at 39, he might be a solid player, but it makes him have to go retire earlier, because he's not going to have that value.
Yeah.
And
So,
I think that's
similar to maybe like a John Wallish, how he was getting almost $50 million at the end of his deal, and
with the
nobody really
production
wanted
and
him.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they either have to get released and play for nothing, or it's like you just there's a lot of players, and I get it, they're getting paid, so who really cares? But I think a lot of players, they get looked at and their value drops based off what they make. We've had this conversation with Tobias Harris so many times.
For sure.
Tobias Harris is a great player if he's making $14 million a year, but because he's making close to 30 and one of the top players, you like.
There was a lot of. Russ started playing better once he got to the Clippers, and people were talking about like, oh, you shouldn't have made the trade or whatever. I'm like, first of all, Russ he's going to look better because he's just in a better situation. Second of all, it wasn't even just trading away Russ. It was the alleviation of trading in Russ that we was able to bring in 3-4 players for him. We was able to get off a $50 million contract. If he was on a $10 million deal, shit might have been great for him.
And you would have been able to add more shooting and stuff like that.
If he was on a smaller deal, it might have been a perfect situation for him in LA too. So
I just think the Clippers also just have everything that Russ needs, and they seem like they trying to they believe in him a little bit more.
I think it's also the friendship with him and Paul George too.
Yeah, and Kawhi.
And it was new.
Yeah.
Whenever you come out of something, you're trying to go into your new situation, your best version. Because
and that shit was right down the street too.
Yeah.
You know he had to get that revenge.
They was trying to get DeMar DeRozan, Kawhi, and PG.
Going back to
they be needing help.
The Portland Trailblazers though.
Yeah.
I hope y'all don't trade that pick. I'm in agreement with you. I don't see what's wrong with bringing in Dame and just keeping that pick as well.
Yeah. And for me, I just feel like Dame has shown that you could develop with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's shown that he's willing to let everybody flourish around him. He's not like a LeBron where it's hard to develop a young guy with LeBron, obviously, unless you're like Austin Reeves. But I think Brandon Miller, Shaedon Sharps, Anthony Simons, the CJ McCollum we saw, you can come in and still get your shit off with Dame. It's not going to hinder you.
Oh, yeah. He
just
over the years, too, he's been doing a lot better job. I feel like we talked about this, but he just he can get people involved a lot better. And he's good at deciding oh, now it's my time to take over. So I think that's where that just he'll let you go crazy. He'll let Anthony Simons have his 30-point game. But when it come down to that Dame, he banging that watch when it's Dame playing.
I just think that the only dangerous part is just getting the guys at the same position. Yeah, so there is a world where the Hornets do take Scoot. That ain't no closed chapter where the Hornets are for sure taking Brandon Miller. They may just take Scoot because of the talent. They're just in a position to where they need supreme talent alongside LaMelo, and it's just hey, we're going to take that guy that we think has the highest ceiling, and we'll just figure out how it's going to work over the years.
That's because, honestly, I thought the backcourt obviously be a dynamic, but I feel like they're in a position where they don't really have shit.
Exactly.
They don't have shit. So you might as well just try to swing for the fences with the B Mill. I feel like he's got a higher floor. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, the higher ceiling for Scoot, I think is just crazy. You talking about the athleticism, how you can get that team up and down. Mm-hmm. I might look at that.
If that's the case, Portland, you're right there, number 3, and you can get a 6'9" wing, something that Dame and the Portland Trailblazers have not been able to come across.
You have 2 of them,
offensive wings, and now you got 2 of them. I think you still have holes. You still need some depth. You're still going to be relying on youth, and obviously those guys ain't going to be super seasoned to come right in and produce at the highest level, but you're still going to have talent.
So if you're Chauncey and you bring back Jeremy Grant, who's obviously probably going to start at the 4, do you now start Shaedon Sharp since he's been there for a year, or do you give it to Brandon Miller?
Or I start both, and Anthony Simons is my 6th man.
Oh, you start big. You go Dame, Brandon Miller, Shaedon, Jeremy Grant.
Shaedon is my 2. Brandon Miller is bigger than Shaedon Sharp.
Yeah, that nigga 6. Yeah. What is he, 6'9"?
Yeah.
Isn't Shaedon Sharp's 6'8"?
Oh, he's 6'6".
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I thought for sure he was like 6'8". My
Yeah,
bad.
he's 6'6".
Okay.
So yeah, you have Dame, Shaedon Sharpe, Brandon Miller, Jeremy Grant.
And then whoever center is, maybe Nurkic still, just because he is
That
under
would be
contract.
the one thing I'm thinking about when trading a pick. It's like maybe you trade back with somebody. Maybe Orlando wants to move up to 3, and you can get their 6 and 11 or something, or another thing out there to get off of Nurkic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would try to use it to get off Nurkic, but I still want to be in the lottery.
Yeah.
And I think Orlando is a great team where like, hell, yeah, Brandon Miller is good, but I could see the Portland Trailblazers also getting Jarris Walker as a 4, and now you know he's a do-it-all power forward, can defend, because they need that shit too.
Yeah.
They need some defense for sure, and he can do a lot defensively for them in like a Draymond Green-esque role, but a little bit more polished offensively. And it also gives you the ability to get off Nurkic because they have to. I know that's Dame's guy, and he's important to Portland.
This is where I feel like that it's just like that. Having that conversation is like just an extra year for Damian Lillard because we wouldn't expect him the next year, like this upcoming year, to win no championship with that type of team, especially if you draft.
Yeah.
So it's just like now we got to look 2 years into the future.
But at the same time, Damian Lillard can't tell me his priority is to win a championship, and he's staying on the Blazers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
He knows and is aware this organization is not in a championship window.
It's not.
So as long as he's staying, he can't say, "Oh, it's gonna take me 2 more years," because motherfucker, if they said fuck it, we're gonna trade the pick,
right?
And they're not getting anything back in championship fashion. What are you gonna
Right.
get, OG Anunoby?
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Is like I feel like it should be more. Damn. So it's just because it's a damn franchise player. You don't want to do Dame like that.
But that's what I'm saying. If
But it's
they don't
just-
want to do it and he don't want to get traded, fine, stay. But don't think you have to trade the pick for some shit that's only going to get you 3 games better.
I feel you. If you don't want to get traded, yeah, you might have to ride out a couple years.
You gonna
but
ride it
yeah.
out?
Yeah, just
But
like
at
you've been
that-
doing.
Just like you've been doing. We gonna try
But
our
like
best
you
to put the
said,
best
every
talent.
year taking away another draft pick. You could trade him and you could be in a better spot.
That's what I'll be saying.
That's the pimp stuck in a hard place or
But that's
whatever
why I
you
don't know
want to
why
call
you're
it.
stuck.
Yeah.
You've tried and exerted every option for him.
Right.
He's came out and said, I am fine and aware with the organization having to do whatever is best for them. I'm just not requesting a trade. But if they did want to trade me, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get traded.
I'm team trade Dame.
They sit up
I
here
don't
and
care if
act
you
like
say-
they're in such this tough spot. Oh my gosh. What are we gonna do if we have to trade Dame? But you're holding the franchise back.
I'm team trade Dame. I know
Me
they
too.
talking about what spot he gonna go to.
Who
Teams
gives a
make
fuck?
teammates
Yeah.
work. Teams make it work.
If
Especially
there's
now.
one team I would love to see
Teams
him
make
on,
shit work.
I would love to see him on Miami. I think that would be great for him. He'll go be behind a great coach and Eric Spoelstra, Jimmy and Bam.
See, they don't got a damn.
But they
thing
don't
to
have.
trade.
They don't
have a
they
damn
don't
thing
have,
to
they don't have the
trade.
shit. They don't have the shit
They
to
don't have a
trade.
damn
So it's
thing
just
to
like
trade.
fuck.
Anybody- Yeah.
But I feel like the team that would have the Pelicans and the Knicks will probably have the best packages. When you talk about draft capital that you can get a return, that would probably be the two teams.
I just-
And
I-
some
I
It
young
just
don't-
seems like
players.
his whole fucking career has been a narrative around Damian Lillard. Kind of like after the first couple years when LaMarcus Aldridge left or whatever. But it's just like he get him some help. He can't do it by himself. It's like, bro,
I mean, most people can't.
move on
Only
to the next
LeBron
damn
can.
chapter.
Only LeBron could do it by himself.
No, he's not doing it.
Well,
by himself.
not do it by himself, but he could get you to the
He
finals.
can get you to finals
That shit ain't
by himself.
valuable. It's
Yeah.
just winning. And even then, he wasn't getting to the finals by himself. What did he do that shit like 1 year, 2 years?
Yeah.
And when he did. Okay, sure, he did with the Mo Williams team. They got swept by the Spurs.
Yep.
He did it the last time with the Cavs when they
In
traded
2018.
when we
yeah.
they got swept. So it's like I don't know. The Damian Lillard shit though, I'm with you, Mike. If I am the Portland Trailblazers at this point,
Mhm.
I am trading him. I am going to take my 3rd pick, and I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do with it, but I'm going to match that with trading him.
Right.
So now I'm going to have Anthony Simons. I'm going to have Shaedon Sharpe. I'm going to have Brandon Miller, hypothetically. And then I'm also going to have 3 future first-round picks,
Mhm.
and I'm going to get players back as well. Damian Lillard is going to get you a couple picks and actual players. So if you trade him to the Pelicans, yeah, give me Dyson Daniels. Give me Jackson Hayes. And give me fucking, I'm trying to be realistic, give me Herb Jones. And then I got my 3 first-round picks as well. So now I'm moving and grooving. I got me a little
You know what,
situation.
too? It just makes it a better situation for if you have so many young players and there's just even that little pressure. It's just like, man, Brandon Miller, he don't look as good because Scoot Henderson averaging 20, but hey, he only got 10 over there for Portland because it's just a limited role, or he just don't get that amount of touches. It's just now it's no pressure at all. Y'all could just go out there and hoop.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong being young, fun, sexy. Just
That's the best way to be. It's either you competing or you young and you fun.
that's why I don't like what the Houston Rockets are doing, where it seems like they kind of rushing it. They haven't even they just need to just be young and fun. Why are you rushing this?
They
process
too
of trying to
damn
compete?
young. That's the issue.
They was so dysfunctional. The years that they were supposed to be fun, they had dysfunction.
Yeah.
So they like shit. We got a bad rap. You got Victor Wembanyama clapping that we didn't get the first pick because he don't want to be a part of this dysfunction. We just fired a coach because we lost when we knew we had a fucking garbage ass team. You had guys leaving and not wanting to go in when Christian Wood and them guys is on the team. It's just all type of shit going on. So it's like let's resettle this and let's get some fucking structure
Shangoon's
back.
getting benched, getting late in games.
Well, that ain't gonna matter because now
Now they got a
Ime.
different coach. Yeah,
But I can see why they want to kind of rush the process because also James Harden is rumored to go back, so that speeds up a lot of shit. That speeds up everything in itself. But yeah, Damian Lillard signed to be traded, and the Portland Trailblazers need to not hinder their future. I got this article. Shout out to BR from BR. Oh, before we dive into that though, last thing, new challenge rule. Y'all fucking with it?
Oh yeah, I've been
When the first
preaching for that.
challenge is
Yeah.
successful, they get the second one.
Yeah,
they're putting that in to happen.
That was something I've
Common
been
sense,
preaching.
right?
That's something I've been preaching for since they started the rule. You can't try to copy the NFL and then do it differently.
Do it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lose my challenge after being right. That's the stupidest thing. So yeah, make that happen.
Or just be right. Fuck, don't make me have to use it.
Yeah, he said fuck. This article is one ambitious free agent target for every NBA team. I want y'all to tell me thumbs up, thumbs down, how y'all feel about these names being linked with these teams. Remember, this is one ambitious.
This Andy Bailey.
Who is this? This does seem like an Andy Bailey. It doesn't have a name.
Oh wow.
It just says Bleacher Report NBA staff.
So when it says
It was the whole
When it
NBA
says-
collective.
when it says one ambitious, you talking like
here's
this
some
is
of the names. You go
this is like their top. This got to be like one of the top people on their board then, right?
The first one is Atlanta Hawks Kevin Love.
That's a little weird.
Not loving it, but nah, I'm not a fan of it. I just don't really see the need to get Kevin Love. You have it like kind of like that.
They're saying that the team's willingness to spend could take a hit because they have rookie scale extensions that they have to get Onyeka Okongwu and Sadiq Bey, which is why the Pistons traded Sadiq because now you got the extension. What do you think he's worth? Hasn't really shown too much, so they got shit that they got to pay. So they don't have the big budget to go. I know Kevin Love seems like damn Kevin Love, but they don't have the money to be like, oh, we're gonna get Jeremy Grant.
Yeah. It would be a cool addition. He's shown some life from Miami, but again, people go to Miami and they just rejuvenate their career somehow. So I don't know if I can expect that same thing from Atlanta at all.
Boston Celtics, Lonnie Walker.
I like it. A good little score off the bench. I think every team could use a Lonnie Walker off their bench, honestly, especially from what he's shown us through small spurts with the Lakers. I think with a bigger role, more opportunity, Lonnie Walker could show you something.
Yeah, I feel like that's just another team. He probably gonna get lost in the soft scene.
I would like to see him on the Cavs as well. I think the Cavs will be a good spot for him as well.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the Boston Celtics when you got Darrick White, you got Marcus Smart, you got Malcolm Brogdon.
He gonna get lost in. It's gonna be games he probably don't close out, or he's not gonna get a significant amount of minutes. It's gonna be nice to have him.
They're saying when the Boston Celtics offense turns out sickeningly ineffective during stretches, the symptoms are always the same: aimlessness, indecision, and an alarming disregard for ball security. Head coach Zoe Mazzulla's critics would suggest an occasional timeout as a course of treatment, but maybe an addition of head-down, bucket-hungry guard could also help. What, he gonna just fucking ISO with Tatum and Brown?
Yeah, I don't think that's the answer for that.
No.
Brooklyn Nets, George Niang. The
I mean, why
Brooklyn Nets
not?
plan to
Add a
send
shoot to-
multiple rangy wings at Joel Embiid worked well, but their first-round series against Philadelphia, the strategy highlighted Brooklyn's wealth of defenders. It wasn't enough to avoid elimination. The Nets couldn't generate enough points on the other end.
Yeah, I can
Niang
see.
doesn't.
I can see what they're
Niang
trying
doesn't,
to do.
I guess, but Niang doesn't really help them produce many more points either.
I can see what they're saying in like that wings, kind of like how Toronto does. They have just a multitude of people that can play similar positions. George Niang is kind of like you don't really think of him in like no lockdown or somebody who can do all that type of stuff. But if he can give you 15 minutes off the bench and he's doing in that like where he's switching everything and he can give you a couple threes, it could be worth it.
It just says with the $5 million tax player mid-level exception likely to be their top spending tool, it won't be easy for the Nets to address their scoring needs. So that's where it's coming from. They can't go out and make a big splash. Here now we starting to really get some shit going because the first few names is like Charlotte Hornets, Kristaps Porzingis.
If they could get him, it would be. I think that's a W for them. I think he seems like he's just cool to hoop. I don't think he has no like him being with the Wizards. I feel like he could do that shit with Charlotte, and him having LaMelo too. It's a nice. He's got a playmaker, and it's just he could be the second option to go through.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it, but I would still love to see him on like a competing team. That Charlotte team isn't competing for shit.
I think putting him in the mix with LaMelo, the second pick, Miles Bridges. You still got Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward. They got a lot. This team, don't forget, they were injury riddled.
Yeah,
they were injury riddled. LaMelo spent a lot of time on the sideline with that ankle injury.
Yep.
They got some shit. If they can make an acquisition like this with the second pick, they got. I'm not saying they're gonna run off of in the East, but I could definitely see this team being a playoff team if they were able to get Kristaps with already. So you would have, hypothetically, you got LaMelo, you draft Scoot, you still have Terry Rozier, Kelly Oubre, Porzingis now, Miles Bridges back, Mark Williams, the other big man, Nick Richards.
Yeah.
It's some shit. Gordon Hayward, it's some shit there.
It is. It sounds sexy, but I could also see that team just being really bad.
Oh.
Yeah,
to clear space for KP, the Hornets would likely need to renounce their rights on Kelly Oubre. So they wouldn't have Oubre and they wouldn't have PJ Washington. Mm-hmm. But shit, I would still do it. I would still be willing to bring back LaMelo, Scoot, Rozier, Hayward, Bridges, Porzingis, and the bigs.
The Hornets got some. I mean, I just need them to get back on track. I need them to have just a healthy year because at least the years prior they just had like a fun team, but this team it wasn't the same as much.
I wish KB was here.
Get a Kelly. I said Kelly Olynyk, Kelly Oubre or Terry Rozier game in there.
I wish KB was here. Chicago Bulls, you a Bulls fan? Chicago Bulls, Gabe Vincent.
So they trying to address the point guard situation?
The Miami Heat are right up against a luxury tax option without accounting for a single dollar going to Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, Kevin Love, Cody Zeller, Omer Yurtseven, and Udonis Haslem. Though they have bird rights on Strus and Vincent, their top two retention priorities in that group of free agents, it simply may not be financially feasible to keep both. That's where the Bulls could swoop in and offer Vincent their full mid-level exception, which starts at $12.2 million and can run for up to 4 years with 5% raises. Chicago has Caruso, but that's about it in terms of reliable point guards. Kobe White will be a restricted free agent, and Patrick Beverly will join Ayo on the unrestricted market.
I mean, I would love to see them also. If they could re-sign Kobe White and bring in Gabe Vincent, I think that would be cool. But I still think Kobe White showed you something last year. I know you're still trying to get over that Lonzo thing, so I'm not mad at you bringing in Gabe Vincent, but yeah, it is time to try to really address that PG spot and be aggressive with it because Lonzo, you can't wait on it.
I would like it. I think Gabe Vincent kind of fits the mold of a Bull. I don't know. I could just see him in that jersey.
Cleveland Cavaliers, Harrison Barnes.
I like it. I like it from the fact that he's a wing who could defend multiple positions, shoot the three ball. I mean, he ain't the sexy name, but I think Harrison Barnes plays very good basketball.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I really feel like Harrison Barnes is just cool, but that might be all Cleveland kind of needs for a small forward.
But also, Harrison
I would say it'd be
Barnes
cool.
really doesn't play the three much. He plays the four, and now they have Evan Mobley.
He could play a three with them.
Yeah.
I think he could be able to play a three with them. When Keegan Murray was playing, wouldn't you say he was more than three?
Yeah.
They also say Bruce Brown and Josh Hart would be great alternatives here, but they're both younger and potentially in higher demand.
Yeah, Josh Hart would be crazy.
He's
for
and Bruce Brown.
Where the fuck he's at.
Bruce Brown also
Brown.
will get paid.
Yeah, Bruce Brown. Dallas Mavericks. Dylan Brooks.
Bring him in. Bring him in. He's literally exactly what you need.
Exactly what they need.
Somebody who's gonna defend, and somebody's probably not. He's gonna shoot the ball every damn time when Luka passes him the ball.
And he also gives them like that grit and that toughness. Like, and he could just guard the other. He could do what Dorian Finney-Smith was doing a lot. And I think that would be really good for them.
Nuggets. Sick player. They already had Bruce Brown.
Dead.
I was gonna say, I feel like they'd be stupid to kind of let him go, or just.
But
like,
his price tag might be a little high. They might not be able to because they do have 3 max deals on their books.
Yeah, without his bird rights or cap space, they cannot offer him more than $7.7 million for next season.
Shit.
That's only a hair more than a mid-level exception,
Oh,
and
yeah.
frankly,
He's
nowhere
gonna get
near
outbid.
Brown's actual market value. He has done everything from providing rim pressure to protect to running point to checking some truly difficult defensive assignments. Most of his utility has translated to the postseason, his slumping three-point shooting now withstanding. Plenty of teams pending the bigger mid-level exception of like $11.4 million should be interested in his services. The Nuggets cannot compete with 4-year offers that approach $50 million or more. Their best contract will peak at a notch above $30 million.
Yeah, see, they're just gonna get outpriced for him. Someone's gonna pay him.
It says Denver just made it to the finals. It might win the whole damn thing. Maybe Brown pulls a Nicholas Batum and Bobby Portis Jr., signs for less next season, and then inks a much larger deal using early bird rights in 2024. I could see that happening.
I could
you
see
win
that.
a championship,
Run it
vibes is
back.
great. We're gonna run it back, and then I could try to chase my bag. The only thing is, if he don't have the same type of year, his market completely crashes.
Or injuries,
Depending on who his
yeah.
agent is, he might say, "Hey, you got your ring, but now let's go get you. You know, what better year to go bring you a ring and get you a bag all in 1 year? Let's
Yeah.
capitalize on it now." So, or we could always do what fucking what Gary Payton did: win a ring, get a bag, and then request a trade back.
Right.
Detroit Pistons, Cam Johnson.
I like it. Cam Johnson has shown you that he can really be like a good wing scoring, like young guy. He could put the ball on the floor. Cam Johnson is a guy, when he was playing with the Phoenix Suns, I was like, he deserves more opportunity. And he's shown us in Brooklyn that if you give him more opportunity, he could be really good. So I do like it for them. And especially because they got rid of Sadiq. Now you get like a better version of Sadiq.
Yeah, I'm fucking with it. I just like Cam. Cam Johnson just had moments in the playoffs. You're like,
You just
holy
don't fuck with
shit.
him on a game.
Nah, I mess
He
with
was on
it.
your team, and you was.
But I just didn't know where to play him. I just didn't know where to play him. It was one of them sayings, and I feel like this could be a team thing for teams in real life. It's just like you feel like you should make a move, but just also you probably just shouldn't. You good where you at. But I like Cam Johnson for them.
Hoop Hype's Michael Scoto reporting NBA executives expect Johnson to earn a deal in the neighborhood of 4 years, $90 million.
Damn.
Detroit could use his cap space stockpile to fire a 4-year offer sheet worth well over $100 million at the 27 sharpshooter. The thing that they're saying is that the Brooklyn Nets, he's a restricted free agent, so test and see if they're willing to match
Oh yeah.
his salary. The
I mean,
Pistons
if they don't get shit in, I guess they would. But it's also, do you want to spend all that money on Cam Johnson?
I wouldn't mind seeing him in Indiana. I think Indiana would be a great fit for him as well.
Yeah, any shooter that should want to go to Indiana
The
playing
Pistons
with
already
Tyrese.
have Bojan Bogdanovic earning $20 million next season, but nobody has ever criticized a roster for having too many offensive skill combo forwards.
And Bogdanovich is also a guy that at any time could be moved. Contending teams will want him.
That's a fact.
So I don't think he's
But the Pistons value him because they're trying to get to that next level.
You said
Yeah.
4 years, $100 million for Cam Johnson or something.
on 4 years, 90.
In 2K, I paid him $10 million.
But that's because
And weren't you the Lakers? So
Yeah.
you had that Lakers privilege of being able to underbid players and they still come.
2K is so weird with that because, guys who get $18, $19 million contracts, you can sign them in 2K for like 5. They just haven't really gauged what guys want in a real salary cap type shit. I don't know.
But they did gauge the fact that if your city isn't a free agent destination, then guys probably won't agree to sign there.
But it's all type of things. It's just value for each player. If you go in, there's like the market. Does he want to be a starter? The city. It's a bunch of different things and the settings that you can put as a slider of what players value. Warriors, Torrey Craig.
I like
Seems
it.
like
I mean,
a warrior ass dude.
Yeah.
I ain't got to spend too much time on that. Houston Rockets, James Harden.
Bro, this feels like that same shit with the Knicks. Is like they're connected so much, and you hear this so much. It's like I'm expecting this shit to
I
happen.
just feel bad for Joel. He really he got 2 years of trying to run it with James Harden.
After that shit with James Harden, if I'm Joel, I'm not thinking I could win that shit with James Harden. First of all, we talked about it. He got to look at himself too. But James Harden he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do.
I don't know why, but I want to see James Harden with the Rockets. I don't care how the Rockets team look. I don't care about the Sixers. It just feels like wrong for watching him in different jerseys. The Brooklyn shit was nasty. The Philly shit nasty.
Him in the different jerseys, like if he was drafted in 2K, like in a fantasy.
Yeah,
league or
it's like
shit.
my team.
Motherfucker got the
He
number
probably
one.
also feel like I want to be back home. That's not. I feel like players also probably had that same mentality where like Houston is probably home to him.
Probably it
He
is.
got like
it
7
is.
clubs there that he be going to every night.
He's like the king of Houston, so like he can go there and do whatever he want.
Holy, you glazing.
The taxes are way better.
Hey, that's a fair fact.
And it says Houston Rockets are on track for nearly $60 million in cap space.
Damn.
And like we just talked about with the Blazers, he would be doing the same shit Dame could do there.
Yeah.
He'd come in. Are we going to win a championship? No, but we're going to have fun. It's a nice young team. We got Jalen Green, Şengün, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith. It's two ways that can go. Those dudes are going to jump up and soar, and we're going to get it in, or we're going to trade their ass because they're young.
Are you giving him that $200 million
I have
contract?
no other option. I have no other option. They already know what they're getting into. The Houston Rockets don't think they're going to get him for a bargain.
Yeah, no.
That's their way.
It's just $200 million. Just
You're the king. This is your home, and we're going to give you everything that you want. That's how we get you.
So he wanted 4 years, $20 million. That was like $50 million a year.
Wait, what?
$200 million is what he wants.
$200 million.
4 years, $20 million.
You just did the math.
No. 200
You just did the math on your calculator. 50, 100, 50.
is divided by 2. Yeah. I don't even know why I did.
Hey,
that.
math aren't that strong suit up here.
$50 million a year is crazy for Harden.
But it's not crazy for Damian Lillard, though. Are you seeing his face? Hell no.
Damian Lillard is clearly the better player here.
This shit is still
Not
outrageous.
this fucking much.
It's still fucking outrageous price tag.
By this fucking much.
No.
So if you had 2 careers, who would you want?
We're talking about right now.
We are. But I just want to know.
No, James,
I'm gonna give you the slight. Damian Lillard just did have a better year than James Harden. He did. I'm not even arguing with that.
when you talk about career, yeah, James Harden had a crazy career.
James Harden also just played with Embiid though, so I don't think he has to have the same year as Dame and weak ass
I
Portland.
think Damian Lillard still has all NBA type of season like he did with Portland if he's with Joel.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that with the way James Harden play, he just came in and did what he did. But I think you don't get no argument with me. If Philly had Damian Lillard,
them motherfuckers might be still in this. They might still be in the
for
playoffs.
sure.
They got
But
him.
just knowing the player James Harden is and what he's been like the last couple of years, I don't think James Harden came.
Yeah,
this bitch.
it's the way to say like $50 million for James Harden is crazy, but we gonna pay Dame 60 and be cool. It's just like
it ain't that far off.
Yeah.
To me. But that made me go and ask you, who career would you have? It ain't to say who's better right now. Damian Lillard is better right now.
Yeah. But when you talk about career rise, James Harden won an MVP, multiple scoring titles, was one of the engines of one of the best offensive all. Yeah, James Harden did that shit for a while. So yeah.
21, 11, and 6.
Good year.
Dame had 32, 7, and 5.
Just don't think James Harden's worth $50 million.
Is Dame worth that 60 mil?
Not at the end of his contract. Right now he is. Not at the end of it, no.
Okay. We gonna see.
Yeah, because Dame making 42.
We gonna see once. I can't
45,
wait.
48,
We gonna
58,
see-
63.
We're gonna see the real fandom.
2026.
We're gonna see the real Portland Trailblazer fandom once Dame is gone, or I guess eventually ends up retiring at this point, because that's when we gonna know if he really rocked with the Blazers or was it just
We
Dame.
know the answer. He rocks with Damian Lillard.
It's still a crossroad you have to come back.
Oh, I see
because
what
it's still he's invested hella fucking time into the Blazers now. At this point, it's not just always.
But it's all
been
because of Dame.
Started with LaMarcus.
Yeah. It's all because of that. People do that with
You
like
can even
LeBron
name him
fans.
for your all-time Spurs.
I had forgot he played for the Spurs.
People do that with LeBron fans. Like, are y'all Cavs fans or LeBron? Once LeBron left, my brother, who's a big LeBron fan, don't give a fuck about what the Cavs got going on. I hate when people do that. Y'all just Bron fans. Yeah, they are just Bron fans.
You know who doing that shit right now? He be pissing me off.
Who?
Well, I'll be streaming the Lakers game or whatever. Kamari coming up. Man, we gotta get it together. We gotta get it together.
Who the fuck is we?
Right, like nigga, he be rooting for the Magic. I don't know. I think he a Magic
Right,
fan.
he like Paulo. He like
yeah,
the
he's
young
talking about
guys.
we. I like Bron. I'm like nigga. No, go watch some Paolo highlights.
Yeah, I see what you're trying to say, Darrick. But they what else are they gonna spend the money on?
I don't know, but it's still just it's not. That's a lot of money to give James Harden.
Yeah, what if he rejuvenated?
I don't see much rejuvenation. I think they'll be cool. They might be fighting for a play-in spot if that's your
Remember though,
definition
So
of-
what's your gripe with them doing it, but not with the Blazers
Damian-
doing it? Because even if Damian Lillard is okay, we have two players. Let's say Damian Lillard this year was 39% better than James Harden.
yeah.
Okay, it still got the Portland Trailblazers no fucking where. This great season Dame just had got y'all the third pick in the
But
draft.
when he was given that money, I thought it was rightfully deserved.
No. It ain't about if we talking about deserve. A lot
All
of
these
guys,
niggas be deserving a lot of this money, bro.
they don't.
It's just no. I say they do. It just
They
comes
do
to the
and
point.
they don't.
It just comes into question when the productivity doesn't match the
And
contract.
I don't think you're going to get $50 million worth of productivity from.
But that's
James
my
Harden.
argument. That's my argument. A little different to Mike. How many guys' production match they? We just talked about that. Did Tobias Harris give you $30 million production?
Nope.
Did D'Angelo Russell give you $27 million production?
Hell no. But I respect what he did for us.
We could go around every fucking team and talk about production and matching money.
But right now,
Does DeAndre Ayton give you that max extension production that he just got?
no. But when you look at it from a standpoint that the Houston Rockets have a few months to make that decision, and that they sit down, they talk about it, and then they be like, you know what? $50 million for Harden. Yeah, it's worth it. And then you come out and you not really on shit. It's not really you have the option.
But they're a
to
young
bring
team.
him in.
They're a young team. They're not looking to win a championship.
You
So
might as well
they-
just say young and fun. Just
yeah. That's
But they can do that though, because they're literally. I mean, what you got to pay like Jalen Green soon, or you got
and all those people don't have to go nowhere because they're your players. So you can go
you have their
above.
bird rights and
Yeah.
everything like that. At this point too, and I feel like I'm just assuming again, but like James Harden when he first left Houston, I feel like it's because he wanted to win. Like he didn't like the situation. He wanted to try to get that chance. I feel like he's had that chance a couple times now.
Yeah,
It just
he-
didn't work.
Now I'm
I think he's past. Yeah, I think he's past that. I
Yeah.
think he's cooling, and it's also like P said. Who else are you gonna pay? You could pay him that money, and you could just have your young roster and be cool.
And don't tell me that you're gonna spread it around because you can't, because they have a roster full of like 8 young guys who need time.
yeah.
You can't go. You can't tell me I'm gonna bring in 5 vets. Oh, you are? Well, how the fuck is KPJ playing? Where's Jalen Green minutes going? Where's Tari Easton's minutes? Jabari Smith Jr. need minutes. Şengün need minutes. You're finna bring in another fucking pick. How are you gonna play 9 of these young guys and sign 5 more veterans? So you might as well just give it to fucking James Harden. You just brought in a coach who's trying to win. They're trying to do something here.
I think James Harden does add value to this team. I'm not saying that. I'm just speaking on the $50 million part.
The 50 million.
Yeah,
but listen though,
I think
you're
he's
also
going to help those young guys develop for sure.
I think that's part of what you're paying for, because with that money, obviously we talked about him not doing it, getting it done at like the highest level. You're paying for his services to do what he does in Philly. He ain't do shit but make players better around him.
And every once in a
Make
while,
players better
had
than him.
games where he fucking won you one. Maybe he does that more in Houston because he, on a night-by-night basis, he's committed to the fact that he doesn't have a Joel Embiid. Maybe he's just better because he's just at home and he's comfortable and he's where he wants to be. But
Ooh,
but I'm just surprised that you caught on that, because that's literally how the game goes. We just talked about Jimmy Butler's last year in his deal is outrageous. He's not going to be he's not going to give you that production. Damian Lillard is going to be making $63 million in 2026-27. You think he's going to be an all-NBA player?
I think it also comes to the fact that not every team got to compete for a championship or just like
they're not going to.
Yeah, they're
not. I
The
think it's
better
just
you,
like
accept that. The
yeah,
better.
it's the better to understand. It's just like you can. There's other opportunities for you to like feel success over the course of the season without winning a championship or being a damn third seed out west or out east.
I mean, I get.
Because don't get me wrong, there's disappointing when you fucking win 15 games on the season type shit, and maybe you're not playing well. But there's also bright spots where I've seen teams win 22 games and they feel great about themselves because they've seen what they wanted to see on the floor.
I get what he's saying, and I think he would be right if that's what they expect. If the Rockets were telling us that they're going to sign James Harden to take this current team overnight to the finals, it would be the dumbest signing in America.
Really?
But they're signing him because the relationship they have, they love James Harden, and he's going to make them better. You don't have to be the biggest James Harden fan, but he's going to make them better. What people value as better is objective to what they value. But the Rockets right now, as bad as they've been, they just don't want to be ass. They may necessarily not be thinking about winning a championship right now, but they just know that they don't want to have the dysfunction and the lack of excitement. And James Harden is going to make them better, whether that's being 44 wins, 38, whatever, is going to put them in a position to grow and be better.
I will like his locker room presence. I think that will be great for him as well.
Bruce Brown just spoke on that. He was talking about James Harden with the Nets, and like when he left, it just wasn't nothing really there. He was a leader in the court and off the court, and it was just like when he left, there was just like a lack of that.
Yeah.
And
You do need that.
And like I said, I always have that like respect for James Harden, but not even just like the on-court shit, but I've seen a lot of men talk to like at his training camps and like on videos and type of that stuff. He's one of those dudes that really puts in that work. And I feel like if you have that type of dude that's going to get that into Jalen Green mindset, into all these other dude mindsets, it can only be the benefit of you.
I'm actually a big fan of it because unlike a lot of guys, I think James Harden can age gracefully. I think he's a tremendous facilitator. I think he's always going to be a formidable scorer. Is he going to be how he was in his peak years in Houston? No. But I think if you go in and you don't expect that, but like the numbers I just read off, 21, 11, and 6, those are really good numbers for a guy who's not the same.
If I told you Fred VanVleet had them fucking numbers, you'd be like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I would say sign that motherfucker right now. And this is supposed to be a guy that's past his prime, and these are down years for him. Bring that to the Rockets, who need that. They literally have no facilitator.
Yeah,
Jalen Green, let's get going. Şengün, we gonna pick and roll, and Jabari, I'm gonna create open 3-point catch and shoot looks for you. Like they need somebody to set the table and give them a direction and identity. And I think he's a guy who can come in and do that while aging good. You can't really bring in a Russell Westbrook and do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
I feel like Russell could do the same. It wouldn't. I feel like James Harden does it at a higher level, but I feel like Russell could be a table setter for your guys.
Oh no, he can be a table setter, but it's
you talking about their play styles? Like Russ is more like 100 miles an hour type play, whereas James Harden is more like a slow, methodical. Like he's more of a game reader, I would say.
Yeah,
than
I mean they both got that damn thing where it's just like they could take a bag of bones just like across the street. You know what I'm saying?
I think James Harden plays a lot better basketball. Russell can save the day and give you 40 and win. James Harden can get you a triple-double and everybody got involved and win. And Russell's going to get you a triple-double as well. But Russell has his moments where he does a lot of bonehead, bad basketball shit. And I think James Harden just has those moments where he's just not making a shot. He just quote-unquote disappears, which is cool. But I've never seen James Harden be like, oh, we up 5, and he just shot a fucking 3 with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Like, why would you do that? Remember against the Blazers? Like, wasn't that Russ? He took the shot early in the year against the Blazers and Jeremy Grant. Yeah, James Harden ain't really doing it.
But I need the 2-for-1.
He may just not have certain nights where it's just like, damn, what was your effort? Or, you know, you just didn't make a lot of shots. But I've never seen James Harden just being like, damn, what the fuck was he thinking with that shot? We can speed through the rest. Indiana Pacers, their dream scenario or ambitious, Draymond Green.
I guess
Wow,
they want his
veteran presence.
Yeah, I feel like that's the complete opposite of what I would think Draymond first of all wants.
Yeah,
because he wants to compete, and then second of all, I guess. I mean, Tyrese has been doing a great job of it, unless you're trying to mimic that. But Tyrese has been doing a really good job of just keeping the offense going.
That would be the only thing. But they don't have a 4. Tyrese has been doing a good job. Does it take the ball out of Tyrese's hands?
No.
I've seen
But
Tyrese
also, I don't
work
want
without the ball
Draymond to
too.
not have the ball in his hands because
Exactly.
that's where he's
So
shown.
that's why it takes the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, because with the Warriors, he literally quarterbacks off. He literally quarterbacks off.
Sure. And also, they have 7, and I'm thinking they can get Taylor Hendricks
Mhm.
or Jarris Walker at 7, and that's a great draft night for them.
If they got Jarris Walker.
Because, yeah, I mean, a front court defensively of Draymond
And Miles Turner.
and Miles Turner is nice. And then offensively, Miles Turner stretches the floor. So it ain't like you got 2 bigs who, but at the same time, Halliburton has been so good. If you can get like a Taylor Hendricks who can catch lobs, pick and pop, and defend, I think that's a much better offseason. Clippers, Dennis Schroeder. That actually ain't bad. They've been trying to nail that point guard spot so bad.
The Clippers have so much stuff over there. It's crazy. Like they just have so many. They have just like a surplus of players.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're just adding Dennis Schroeder. I think Dennis Schroeder is good, but yeah, I'm not mad at it though.
Lakers, Gary Trent.
Oh,
I
you know
would
what's
take
crazy? I told KB this. I think a Gary Trent might end up on the Bulls.
You think so?
I was there when you told him that.
Yeah, he one of them dudes anybody would honestly take.
Because honestly, if you look at him and Dylan Brooks, I know their value may not be crazy high just based off of their last performances. So like you may be able to get them on a bargain deal where they come and like try to prove themselves, and then you just get a diamond in the rough type shit. So y'all with Gary Trent would be sexy.
Yeah.
What?
Memphis Grizzlies, Chris Middleton.
Also, they trade for him.
No, he has a player option.
Oh,
That would
he
be
does,
honestly
yeah.
interesting because the way Chris Middleton is like the complete opposite of what the Grizzlies were, especially last year. So maybe it could be like the balance. I
And
honestly like
offensively,
that.
he
I
fits
like
too.
that.
Yeah, I actually like it, especially like late game. It doesn't have to be all
And
Ja.
honestly,
Chris Middleton can have the ball in his hands.
this might not sound like the sexiest
Ja,
name, but like
Bane, Middleton.
yeah, Bane and Chris Middleton in your wings, they sound like some
I think
pretty
that's
damn
that
good
piece.
options.
That could be that piece where it's like, oh shit, the Grizzlies are serious
Mhm.
because they have a Chris Middleton. Like
And the
yeah,
Bucks. How do we look at the Bucks?
they really had to. They would have to really address some shit.
Yeah, they got to bring some shit in.
Miami Heat, Nikhil Alexander-Walker. It's cool. Milwaukee Bucks, T.J. Warren.
Oh, that's their Chris Middleton replacement.
They just taking them flyers
Yeah.
on like
No,
those
for sure.
under the radar flyers on people.
I hope they do get T.J. Warren though. That would be
Minnesota
nice.
Timberwolves, Max Strus.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, they kind of need a
Max
guy.
Shoes getting that value. I love me some Max Shoes.
Pelicans, this one is nice. The Bucks, the Bucks could be in trouble.
Bobby
Brook
Portis.
Lopez.
Oh, Brook Lopez.
Oh man,
Oh, that's a big upgrade from Not a big upgrade, but it's an upgrade from Valanciunas.
but you
Yeah.
space that floor out
And
too.
chemistry with him is not chemistry, but like fit with him and Zion. One dude is gonna shoot threes. Zion's gonna
Kind of like the Giannis shit.
yeah. No, that's perfect.
New York Knicks, Seth Curry. By the way we shot the ball, come on, Seth.
That would be good.
Oklahoma City Thunder, PJ Washington.
Another guess a young 4
Spend
just
some
bring in
money, 4, stretch the 4, small ball 5.
Him
Yeah, I
and
would
Chet,
take
him
that.
and Chet
I would
next to
take
each
that.
other. Next to each other, I like it.
He would probably come off the bench. J Dub is your 4.
Oh, J-Dub does play the 4. Yeah.
Orlando Magic, Fred VanVleet.
So are they?
I can see him in that. I can
But
see.
they have
I'm
6
so
and
interested to see
11.
I'm so interested to see what happens with Freddie, bro. Because I feel like there's teams that can compete that try to win them. Like the Lakers could try to get him if
Yeah.
if D'Angelo Russell and Kyrie don't work out. But it's also like I can see him just getting some like getting his.
So are they putting him next to Markel?
I saw finna say I like Mark.
I love Markel
Markel
as their starting
was
point guard.
hooping last
Yeah.
season.
Markel showed us a lot last
They
year.
could have a
where it's
big-
like,
They
lineup.
hooping so much. It's like you want him and Cole Anthony be good. Like you don't know if they can like fully play together or whatever. But it's just like Markel did so much. He did so good. It's not. He hindered that little process of what they had with Cole Anthony. I feel like.
For sure. Philadelphia, Dante DiVincenzo and Trey Lyles.
You said for
team
who?
have 2. The Philadelphia 76ers.
I like Dante. I do like Trey Lyles as well. I think those will be very nice pickups. But
Especially if you lose hard.
if you lose Harden, yeah, I guess that's all you can do because that team is just gonna suck when it comes to like shot creation. I think it's gonna be very tough. You really
They
only
have
have
to play through Embiid.
yeah. You
So Dante
and
DiVincenzo, Maxey, Harris, they're gonna have to make shot. D'Anthony Melton.
Mm-hmm.
You might have a little bit more of a team structured thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I would love to see how whoever the new coach is handles that.
Oh, true. Nick Nurse, somebody. Phoenix Suns, Josh Richardson. I kind of like that one a lot.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good fit.
Portland Trailblazers, Nas Reed.
A small center. I like it. I mean, Nas Reed is still really good. Dude, I would love to see him with like the Raptors. No, they got Jakob now. But
I think this is somebody that the Portland Trailblazers need. You're not counting on Nurkic anymore, are you?
yeah,
They count on Drew Eubanks.
So I mean,
Drew Eubanks. I love me some Drew Eubanks.
oh my gosh, I kind of like this one.
Who?
Sacramento, Jeremy Grant.
Oh wow. So they move on from Harrison Barnes. That's such
an
a crazy upgrade. Yeah, that team's looks a little bit more serious too. That's good.
San Antonio Spurs, Austin Reeves.
Oh my god.
It's like that veteran presence. Oh no, Austin Reeves. I was thinking of Austin River, but Austin Reeves. I like it. No, I like Austin Reeves.
I could see it. I feel like they just said, they don't need to do shit else. They just got the number 1 pick. They got big. They good, bro.
Toronto Raptors, D'Angelo Russell.
Ooh.
That means
Get
they
some
lost.
little offense.
They lost Fred. D'Lo come in, plug in, see what he could do. Yeah. I also don't. I don't think D'Lo. Y'all think D'Lo's gonna get a 4-year deal?
No.
Well,
I mean, it might get a 4-year deal, and
he
ain't gonna
ain't
be
getting that
4 year
shit from the
100.
Lakers.
Yeah, no.
He ain't getting that shit from the Lakers. I'll tell you that.
I could see him taking a 2-year deal with like a player option or something.
Utah Jazz, Kyle Kuzma.
They're not getting that
You
shit.
said who? Utah Jazz?
Kyle
Kuzma?
Kuzma.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
They're
And
not
then
getting him. Bro.
Lastly, Washington Wizards, Kyrie Irving.
Oh,
That would
I
be
feel
the
like
most
I feel like
weirdest
them with
shit.
any point guard is a plus. There's just a hole at their PG spot unless they feel like they want to move Bradley Beal to the 1.
No.
You get him and then what? I feel like there's gonna you
Same.
get him and then what?
I would much rather bring back Porzingis. If you're going to spend that type of money, just bring back Porzingis, draft the point guard at 8, and just fucking do the same shit
He
y'all
will
been
bring
doing.
some. Yeah, he will.
But you
bring-
have a draft pick at 8, and you're going to have Cason Wallace, Anthony Black. You're going to have options, Jalen Hood-Schifino. But yeah, you need to try to hit something.
There's
in
some
the
shit
draft.
just like it'll be happening in the league and like Fredo pick up Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie.
Just he got a mid ass team. You're like, why? Now you just at the bottom with Kyrie Irving.
We appreciate y'all though. Now it's time that y'all been waiting for. It's been a pleasure. It was a pleasure to have Isaiah Thomas, and this is where you get the interview. So we appreciate y'all. Enjoy the interview, and let us know how y'all like it in the comments. Voila. IT.